Ago that we got another chapter of the interesting story of the Jimmy Hart saga. There's no question about it, whether you like him or not. Hart has become a major influence in professional wrestling, and his vicious and sometimes very physical battle with Jerry Lawler has led to some interesting situations. Jimmy Hart, another chapter was added when Jerry Lawler successfully got rid of another set of your particular wrestlers in there. So I want to find out your reaction to it.
Well, I'll tell you the truth, Lance. You know, at the first part of this week, I was so happy because in professional wrestling, like music, sometimes when you have things happen to you like a gold record or winning the Southern title or winning the World Championship matches, it means everything in the world to you. And this week, if they can get a close-up of this right here, there was an article that came out in this wrestling magazine, and it was the greatest thrill of the life for me to have my picture on it. It was like maybe in music having your picture on Rolling Stone, you know. But it doesn't mean much to me anymore for the simple fact that, well, y'all laugh. Go ahead. Hey, I don't blame you. Go ahead. That's okay. Hey. But the truth of the matter is this, is that I'm out here today to tell Jerry Lawler that I'm finished. You set out to do what you wanted to do. You wanted to get me out of professional wrestling. Well, that's exactly what you've done, because I admit I'm only 150 pounds and there's no way I can defeat you. Every week I go to the ring and I see these people, they love Lawler. They stand up for Lawler. They cheer him. My family, I come home, I put them through all kind of abuse at school, everything. And I realize that. And like I said, hey, that's okay. Hey, I understand. I understand. But the point I'm trying to say, I had Handsome Jimmy. He defeated Handsome Jimmy.
Left town.
That's right. Last week he defeated the Angel and Gypsy Joe. Everybody I've tried to bring in, Lawler has defeated.
Wayne Ferris.
Wayne Ferris. Everybody. So I'm just out here to tell you, Lawler, like I said, I'm through, and I'm going to miss going to all the places. And the only thing I can say is you are a better man than Jimmy Hart. And I just want to tell the people that I'm sorry for a lot of things that I've done. And that's all I've got to say.
Okay, well, we appreciate the information. We had seen Jimmy Hart through a lot of trials and tribulations. We've seen him when he's been extremely jubilant, and you see him. It's very difficult for a wrestling manager who has nobody to manage to do much, and you heard it from Jimmy Hart.
You know, as Dave and I were talking about that, it really makes you feel like a fool when you let a guy like Hart get out here, knowing all the time he in the program, as a matter of fact, that very championship wrestling program. It wasn't like 3 or 4 weeks later that he comes back.
I think it was 12 minutes.
Yeah.
A 12-minute retirement.
Right on top of it. Yeah, 12-minute retirement for a fact, because he knew he had the Turk and El Toro, and he knew all of the things that he had in his mind for Lawler and all, which occurred a little bit later in the program, because Jerry Lawler and Koko Ware were scheduled to go against, and did, as a matter of fact, go against the Bounty Hunters on it. For you people who didn't see it, you missed it, and we're going to give you an opportunity to say. I want you to see, remembering what Hart said in the interview, watch what happened, as Dave said, about 12, 15 minutes later.
Jerry Calhoun about to start the count. There he does start it, as Novak let both the shoulders drop to the mat. The Bounty Hunters make a tag. Here's Jerry Novak. Koko grabs a headlock as he comes in. Fired into the rope. But with a foot, he puts him on the mat. Down is 1, 2. As Koko's shoulders roll down to the mat by the Bounty Hunter. Whoops. Okay. Yeah. Pulling the tight, so the referee did not allow the count. Koko goes into the rope. nails David Novak out on the apron, then grabs a headlock and takes Jerry Novak down to the mat. That one brought Jimmy Kent out of his chair. Boy, he was screaming about something. Unhappy with the treatment the bounty hunters were receiving from one Koko Ware. Koko, buggy whipped into the ropes. Koko battling, trying to get back up on his feet. He does so. David Novak, the bounty hunter, drives him back down to his knees over the right hand. Koko got his feet out from under him. Heads for the corner. The bounty hunter keeps him away from the tag. Upper arm as Koko is coming off the ropes. Bounty hunter slammed him into the turnbuckle, right in the corner. They make a tag. Koko drives his way over to the corner. Here comes the King back again. Lawler taking on both of them. Their heads meet. I guess they had a meeting of the minds here.
You could say that.
Going for the leg. Working on the left leg of Jerry Lawler. Right at the knee.
Referee Jerry Calhoun trying to push him back before he came down on the leg, but that's a big man to be pushing.
They got that knee, they got that leg wrapped around the ropes. 5.5 minutes gone. 5.5 minutes into a one-fall 15-minute time limit match. Jerry Lawler being worked over by the bounty hunters. David Novak in the ring. Lawler reaches back, battled his way out of the corner. Look out. Jerry Novak trying to sneak in from behind. Referee Jerry Calhoun sends him back outside. Lawler makes a tag on Koko. Whoa. Koko flips the bounty hunter right in the center of the ring. Puts a stretch on his neck. Koko backed him into the ropes. Sets up the drop kick. He didn't get a real good one, as a matter of fact. Oh, he missed that one altogether. Novak waited for him to go for the drop kick again, and Koko missed it. He's body slammed. He's thrown more than just a body slam. The other bounty hunter in there. 6 minutes, 45 seconds gone. Koko Ware, after a drop kick that almost missed and then one that missed completely, finds himself in trouble. Jerry Lawler, no tag made. He nails the bounty hunter for good measure anyway. Bounty hunters make an exchange. They didn't tag. But then neither did the King, so I guess they figure it's even. That's David Novak firing Koko into the rope. Backdrop. And the upper arm as the bounty hunter drops on Koko Ware. Koko still battling. He fired that right hand to the midsection. He knows what he needs to do is get over to the corner and get a tag. He's not in very good position to do that right now. Jimmy Kent from outside. Yeah, you can see his arm in there. Referee sending Lawler back out. Meanwhile, the pile driver by the bounty hunters on Koko Ware.
Referee was over trying to get Lawler out of the ring, and the bounty hunters took advantage of it as they pile drive Koko. Slammed him down in there.
He does get the tag, though, and here comes Lawler. 8 minutes into the action. Lawler working on Jerry Novak of the bounty hunters. Look out, Jimmy Kent up on the apron. If the referee sees it, that ought to do it. Lawler throws him into the ring.
Ring the bell, he said.
And that is going to be it. Disqualification for interference.
Look out!
Turk and El Toro jumping in with Jimmy Hart.
And there he is, back again, Hart. Oh, he nails Lawler with a cane.
Hart, the Turk and El Toro jumping all over Jerry Lawler after the match was over. They came running in from outside.
Hey, come on, let's get somebody in here.
Lawler battling back. He's having to take on about 5 of them.
He's swinging all the way around.
Boy.
Let's get this stopped, though. It's all over there. Okay.
Well, the dressing room empties, and look out. Watch them scatter. There they go. Dundee, David Price, Dream Machine. Disqualification on the Bounty Hunters and Jimmy Kent. So Lawler and Coco are going to win it officially.
And Hart right back in there. Busted him up with that cane.
You tell Hart, or I'll tell him, I'm going to get you and those 2 scums. I'll get them, believe me.
Jerry Lawler going back to administer to the head. They're trying to help Coco out of here. They popped that pile driver on him. And Jerry, who was hit with the cane of Jimmy Hart, oh, boy, that was a short-lived retirement for Hart. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people will remember that.
It's true.
We're going to be back in just a moment.
This, of course, is another continuing story that Jimmy Hart is now the manager.
Look at this, baby.
Yeah, well,
Right where it belongs,
yeah, I see
brother.
where it belongs. I understand that.
Look at this, Memphis. Look at this.
Yeah. You know, and I think it's all fitting that you should have it around your waist, too, because you were as much responsible for the upset win of Ferris and Sullivan as they were in there, and I know you got
Shut up, Porky. Tell that big fat slob to shut up
Hey,
over
will
there.
you
I'm so
pay
sick of these
attention?
people down here.
Just-
I'm paying. Let me tell you something. I am on top of the world right now, baby, because did I not tell you? I said one of these days I'm going to be right back with the Southern Heavyweight Champions, and it couldn't please me more better because of that big fat Dream Machine. You know what? Sure, it hurt me a little bit when the Dream left me. You know why? Because I had so much advertising space sold on that big fat stomach of his, man. He cost me a lot of money. That's the only way he cost me any money. I'm the one that put the woo in the Dream, baby. I feel fantastic, Russell. What do you want to say to me? Anything you want to say?
Oh, I just want to find out if you, in fact, are going to be able to sustain. You've had a little trouble keeping some of your high-priced talent in line in here, and Dutch Mantel
Well, I
and
don't
the
care.
Dream.
Just a minute. Excuse me just a minute.
Come on, Jim.
Vance Russell, I want to talk to you.
No, listen, Jimmy, I told you not today. You're not scheduled for an interview.
Look, I've been trying to run you down. I've been trying to get an opportunity to talk to you.
Yeah, I know you've been
give
trying to
Hart,
run everybody
you,
down.
you give
Would you
Hart
just-
all the chance to
would you
talk. You give the Dream, the Dundee,
Jimmy,
all of them. I don't have
Get out of
another
here.
chance.
We don't need
Why?
you in
Hey,
here. I have an interview
What?
with Jimmy
Why
Hart.
come I can't make an interview?
Well,
I'm
the
tired
simple-
of being on the bottom.
I'll tell you.
I can't never get a chance to make an interview.
I can handle it
I
where
can't get
you
a
don't
time
have to
slot
ever have
because
any
nobody gives me a
interviews in
chance to
here.
say
Now, just
anything.
get out of here. Just get out.
Excuse me, Jimmy. I might be able to help you out, man, if you'll listen to me. I want to tell you something. If you don't mind me saying this, I'm going to shoot straight with you, and I'll tell you exactly why you're on the bottom and I'm on top. First of all, turn right around here to this camera. Get a close-up of this. Look at this red on this man's neck right here.
Jimmy, now just
Look at this.
you
No,
guys
come on.
knock it off.
Wait a minute. I'm shooting straight with you. You want to know the truth? And I'll tell you the truth. When I was in the 7th grade of high school, man, I used to come out and see you at ringside, and I thought, boy, Jimmy Kent, he's quick, he's fast, he's sharp. Until I got to know you, man, you're a complete.
Okay.
So look, no, wait a minute. I'm talking now. I'm
talk
helping the man out here.
outside.
Listen to me. Look at this. Look at this big fat. Look at this big fat beer
All
belly.
right,
Look at
yeah,
the big
come on,
fat
come on.
belly, man.
Let's-
You are ignorant like the people out here are ignorant. From now on, I'm going to be from Boston, Massachusetts, baby. That's where you ought to be from, maybe. But
you
see,
may
you
be
fit
from.
in with all these. He fits in with these people out here. Now, did I not shoot straight with him, or did I not shoot straight? You're ignorant. That's just the whole thing.
Okay,
You're stupid,
Jimmy.
man. That's
Okay,
it.
I'm through with
You know
both
what? I'm
of
trying
you.
to help the man out.
Would you just
I'm trying to
leave?
help the man out. I'm
Would you
trying to help
leave?
you out, man.
Both
And
of you,
that's it.
interviews
So look at it.
terminated
Look at
in
yourself.
here.
Look at your boots, your pants. Look at your shirt tail.
Okay,
out right
we've
there.
got
Look at this beautiful
plenty of
outfit.
action. Hey, come on, Jimmy. Jimmy!
Let me tell you one thing. I tell you what, this
Jimmy,
town ain't big
now.
enough for the both of us.
Now,
You
get out of
understand me?
here. Hey, listen.
Yeah, he's big enough for the
I'm
both of
telling
us.
you.
And I'm going to stop your head in.
I'm
I'm
gonna-
going to challenge you to a match,
If
Hart.
you don't get out of
You
here,
get your men.
you and
those
your
will be a
men never
loser
will
of
appear
these
on this
men.
television. Now
You
get out of here.
understand me?
Don't hit
Trying
him.
to kick your
Don't
tail
hit him.
in.
Jimmy, now get out of here. I don't want to have any more of this stuff. We're going to take time out, and
Drop my
we're going
glasses.
to
I'll tell you, you know.
take time out, and we'll be back.
First, I want to thank you, I think, for letting me come to the First Families Clan meeting here,
come on,
Jimmy.
man.
I
Don't
asked
tell me
you for
Lawler and
permission.
Dundee sent you over here, right? Well, they can't get in the family. You can't get in the family,
no.
baby.
Here, well, wait a minute. Now, let me tell you what I had on my mind. I was thinking the other day that
Hey,
we...
wait just a minute. Before you can come to a family meeting, you got to get comfortable, and you look pretty uncomfortable. You look really comfortable.
I didn't come over here to be harassed.
You need to loosen up just a little. Hey, wait, there you go. Just
All right, okay, now come on. Will you move down there?
I'm not moving anywhere.
You tell him.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Let me let me just a second. Let me tell you why I
All
came.
right, a meeting come to order here.
Meeting come to order.
Here you go.
Okay.
All right.
I was thinking the other day about the fact that we have had opportunities for the fans to write in and say, yeah, I'd like to see this match and that match. Okay, just hold it a minute, Wayne. The promoters every week...
Here, take some, darling. There you go.
Okay, do you mind if I just not drink it right now? I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure. The promoters every week have the opportunity to make the matches that they're interested in seeing, and sometimes I know that you guys do not particularly care for the matches that are booked by the promoters in there. But the thing that in all the years that I've been around commentating on wrestling, I have never known the wrestlers to express an opinion on what kind of match they would like to have. Say what would be like a dream match if you guys. So what I want you to do is to take just a minute to think about it, and then I want to ask you about what your dream match would be.
Well, first of all, I don't need a minute to think about a dream match, Lance Russell, because there's only one dream match that I want, and that would be with Roy Rogers, that young, dumb punk that don't need to be in the wrestling business anyway, and if there's any way I could get rid of him, it would be in a dream match, and I would completely get you out of the country, out of everything, out of the ring, out of anything you ever wanted to be in, Roy Rogers, because for one thing, boy, beautiful, baby. Do you make me sick? I hate your gun, baby. Beautiful, beautiful.
All right, the Boston Battler, Muscle Man Kevin Sullivan. Have you got a dream match that you would like to express?
First of all, Lance, I'd like to say thank you very much for coming to the First Families outing today.
Yeah.
I'm glad you loosened up. You know, later on we got somebody coming out of
Thank
tape
you,
for you,
Kevin.
but forget about that now. You know, I've thought about this a lot, you know. You know, I got a guy here that's been a thorn in my side, Dutch Mantell. And I don't have to tell you, because everybody out there and everybody knows here how he's ran for me, how he's hid for me, you know, that shell-shocked idiot. I can't get him to stand
won't
still
even
one
argue
time.
the point
I know,
with
thank
you.
you, Lance,
Okay.
because you're here on
Okay.
our family grounds. The boys will tell you, isn't he afraid of me?
Yeah,
See, unanimous. Yeah, that's scared of death. And you know, as everybody in this area knows, I'm probably the king of the battle royals. So
The king.
The king.
Baby, not
Okay.
properly the.
Thank you, James. So I was thinking was this. You know, a battle royal, someone always gets hurt in a battle royal. And I was thinking, I'm not going to sell Dutch Mantell short because I figure he's a tough and worthy opponent. So I thought, so that he wouldn't run in a battle royal if I got the toughest men in the country in the ring together, it'd be fair. Because you know what I want to be, Lance, is I want to be fair. Yeah. And especially to a guy like Dutch Mantell, who doesn't deserve it, I'm going to be a little fair. Yeah. Well, so my dream would be a battle royal consisting of the shell-shocked idiot himself, Dutch Mantell, as you said, the Boston Battler, and then I'd like to have the pretty boy, Wayne Ferris, in the ring.
All right.
Yay!
All right, baby.
All right. I'd like to have Nightmare number 1.
Yes, sir.
Got him.
And let's not forget Nightmare number 2.
We can arrange it. We can arrange it.
And the brains of the First Family, James Raymond Hart III. All right.
All right.
And there, he wouldn't have a chance to run. He wouldn't have a chance to hide.
And that's it?
That's it. That's fair, square.
Mantell against the First Family of professional wrestling.
Well, you see, it wouldn't be against the First Family. It'd be a battle royal.
Hey,
It'd be fair.
It's your dream. Kevin Sullivan, this is your dream. Let's get one of the Nightmare number 1 down here. Let's get him in here and find out from him what his dream
Wait a
match would be.
minute. Wait a minute. Let me talk to him. I do the talking. Come here, darling. Come here, baby.
Well, here we go with the Jimmy Hart Fabulous Ventriloquism Act. He does all the talking for the Nightmares, and so he is getting the translation. Can you translate for us, James?
I'm going to try to. What have we got in this punch here, man? This is great. Let me tell you something. All right, this is what my Nightmare number 1 wants. He wants a handicap match with a dream machine. Very simple, and it works like this. Nightmare number 1 and Nightmare number 2 against the Dream, with one stipulation, of course, that when they beat him, then he'll unmask himself. Can you imagine him unmasked, a big, fat, ugly, big pig? Can you believe that?
A handicap
That's
match
right.
with the Nightmares against the
Yeah,
Dream.
that's
They
right.
put up their mask. He puts up theirs.
Hold it,
He
no,
puts
no,
up
wait.
his mask.
Excuse me, you misunderstood me. I think you're the one drinking the punch. Listen, their mask is not at stake. His mask is at stake. The Dream Machine's mask. That's the stipulation.
One mask
right.
at stake. Yeah. Okay.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, let's get Nightmare number 2. Are you going to do
Hey,
the
Evan,
translation
come
for Nightmare number 2?
Come here, darling.
So Jimmy Hart now, and you notice how he's moving his strings, the mouth goes, and nothing comes out till the translation comes. All right. Nightmare number 2's dream match.
You won't believe this. This is the most heartwarming thing that's ever happened to me in my professional career of wrestling. You will not believe what this man just said to me.
What did he say, Jim Bull?
Lance, he just told me that his dream would be mine. Anything that I want is what this man wants because he loves me. I'm the greatest thing to ever happen in his life. Thank you.
You're the greatest thing you ever happened in your life.
Okay, so Nightmare number 2 has no dream. We've gotten the First Family's dreams in there, and we appreciate the opportunity to...
Wait a minute. Excuse me. Well, you didn't ask me about my dream, baby. My dream. What about my dream?
Yeah, like it or not, I'm going to get Jimmy Hart's
Because if
dream.
he gets a dream and he's going to give it to me, then I want my dream.
Okay, Jimmy, what would your dream match be?
Excuse me. This is my dream. This is my dream, baby. I want to get Jerry Lawler into the ring. I want to get him in a boxing glove match. I want him to have boxing gloves on, baby, because you know in high school, who was the #1 professional boxer? Not professional, but I call myself professional in high school. Jimmy Hart. Who won Golden Gloves? Jimmy Hart, baby. Come on, tell it like it is.
I'm not telling anything.
Fight it too, but the referee kept on stepping on his head.
Stepping on his hands, did you hear that? Let me tell you, this is mine. I would like to get Jerry Lawler in the ring. He's got boxing gloves. What's in that punch over there? I want to get him in the ring with boxing gloves on, #1. #2, I want 2 special referees, which would, of course, be the Boston Battler.
I'll do it, James. I'll do it.
And last but not least, the pretty boy, Wayne Ferris. 2 special referees. You got it, darling. 2 special referees, Lawler in boxing gloves, but I want the Southern Heavyweight Championship belt put up. For this reason, Lance Russell, Jerry Lawler came out here on TV and he told everybody, boy, Jimmy Hart, you've done the greatest thing in the world for me because bringing in the Hulk, and he beat the Hulk. He beat Jack Briscoe, Dory Funk, Terry Funk, Jimmy Valiant, Austin Idol, I can go on. Well, that moved Lawler up in the rankings, right? Well, baby, if he has that match with me, then I'll win the match. And then he'll be down at the bottom again. Look at this, 18-inch arms, Lawler. Look at this, 18-inch, baby. Look at these biceps. Look at this body. Look at it. That's your deal, baby. Lawler, can you take it, baby? Boxing gloves, Southern Heavyweight title shot match, plus, last but not least, my special referees, Sullivan and Ferris, baby. Come on, Lawler. Come on and get it, baby.
Boy, that is a dream, I got to tell you. Okay, your typical fun-loving American family, and so as we say adieu to the First Family of professional wrestling, we'll have more on Dreams later on. They are crowned. I have no intention of congratulating this particular champion. We're talking about the new AWA Southern Heavyweight Champion, Jimmy Hart, who took that throne from Jerry the King Lawler. And so we will follow our practice, and here is the new Southern Heavyweight Champ. I say jokingly. It's a laugh.
Jokingly,
You
huh?
set the whole Southern Heavyweight thing back 15 years with that farce match that you had in.
Well, let me just say something right now, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at the new Southern Heavyweight Champion. Hey, that's right. You love me, don't you? Well, you know what? I feel so good. You know, in music, I had a gold record, right?
Yeah.
And now in wrestling, this is the best thing. Look, the cameramen are so asleep, they can't even get a shot of the belt. Here, boys, let me help you out. Look at this jewel, baby. It's Jimmy Hart's forever. I am the Southern Heavyweight Champion, and I'm going to stay the Southern Heavyweight Champion. What do you think about that, Russell?
Well, I hear you talking, Jimmy, but that doesn't really have anything to do with the fact that the way you won it in a completely loaded match, it was incredible it should have been. And you do have the Southern
heavyweight belt. You've added that to the family collection.
Well, let me just say this. The family is the greatest thing that ever happened in professional wrestling. I am the greatest thing that ever happened in professional wrestling. Lawler is finished. He's washed up. You know, once there was a Jackie Fargo, and he was sitting high on the crown here in town, and everybody thought he was the greatest thing. And then came along a smart punk by the name of Jerry Lawler, and he knocked him right off. Well, now, Lawler, your day has come, brother, because there's a smart punk on the scene now named Jimmy Hart. I am the new Southern Weight champion. You don't even have enough fans anymore, baby, to pack a phone booth, and that's all I got to say.
Yeah, well, I want you to stand right here. You stand right here. I've got an interview that Jerry Lawler on the explanation of that entire situation. I think it's only fair that we stand
look,
here.
I don't want to hear no film on Lawler. He's not down here today because he's ashamed to even show his face, baby. I'm the Southern champion. I'm not staying for nothing. You can watch the film and go to sleep with everybody else out here, Pelican Nose.
That figures just exactly about what you would do. You don't have the guts to stand out here. Let's take a listen in a bizarre situation that Jerry Lawler.
Well, I would imagine that by now, Jimmy Hart is strutting all around the TV station there with the Southern Heavyweight Championship belt around that little skinny waist of his. Mighty happy that he is the new champion. And I would imagine that everybody is wondering just exactly how this happened. And I've been asking myself that same question all week long, but I'd like to take just a second here to explain, or try to explain a little bit of how it did take place. You see, a few weeks ago, the promoters came to myself and Bill and several of the other wrestlers around the area, and they asked them if you could have any kind of match that you wanted with any kind of stipulation involving any other wrestler, what would be the match that you would want? What would be your dream match? And at the time, I just thought they were, you know, it was just a fantasy type thing, wondering what kind of match we would ask for. So I naturally wanted a match with Hart involved, and Hart wanted a match with me involved, and all of the wrestlers came up with some sort of a crazy match with a lot of stipulations where it was one-sided, stacked in their favor. And then a little while later, the promoters came back to me and they said, if you could have your chance to get your dream match, would you agree to be in anybody else, or be involved in anybody else's dream match, the stipulations that they've asked for? Well, I had to think for just a second, and I said, yes, I would. Because when I went into that match, where the winner of the match would get his dream match, I felt certain that I would win the match. I knew I'd beat one of those punks, and then I'd get to have my dream match with Hart, or at least one of my teammates would win the match. You know, whenever every time I step into the ring, I feel like I'm going to win. If a wrestler goes in the ring doubting whether or not he's going to win the match, he usually won't win. Well, the thing didn't go exactly the way we wanted it to, and we didn't come out on the right end of the match. We didn't win it, and so, because I had previously agreed, I had to go into the ring in Hart's dream match. And I had to wear I had to put boxing gloves on to where if I did get to hit him, it'd be a padded blow. And I was against Hart, and the Southern Heavyweight Championship belt was at stake. But to top it all off, Kevin Sullivan and Wayne Ferris were the two referees. Well, it was a completely one-sided match, all right, all in Jimmy Hart's favor. Every time I would grab him, they would be right there to pull him off of me. Every time I'd try to hit him, they would come in between us. I realized I didn't have a chance about halfway through the thing, and I even tried to hit one of them to get disqualified, but no, he didn't disqualify me, and that's how I wound up losing the Southern Heavyweight Championship. Well, let me tell you something, Hart. For years now, I've been mighty proud of that belt. I consider it my belt. I'm as proud of that belt as any belt in the country, the World Championship or whatever. The Southern Heavyweight Championship belt is my belt. And I'm going to tell you this, punk, and I'm going to promise all you people out there that right now Jimmy Hart has that belt around his waist, but Hart, I'm making you this promise. You will never, no matter what I have to do, you will never be able to defend that belt the first time. You remember that, punk?
I tell you, I guess you gathered in there that Golden Boy Chick Donovan had used that move before, running Kern into the turnbuckle on it. What a great move. I never thought I would see him get him and suplex him back like that. Here's a man that we were just talking about. In his own right, he had the nerve to come out here and at least agree to talk to us about the match. Golden Boy Chick Donovan. Chick, I got to ask you, going into that match, were you not feeling well when you went in there with Kern? Were you just not right and ready for the match?
I have no excuses, Mr. Russell. As you saw it, the man beat me. 1, 2, 3. There's no excuses. I have just been humiliated. Never in my life I would ever think that could ever happen to the Golden Boy, but it did. You saw it.
Well, did he, at some point earlier in the match, hurt you to the position where you were not able to contend with him in the latter part of it?
All I can say is Steve Kern is a superior, well-trained athlete, and he beat me. You know, I have been battered, tattered, and torn to the point where I think I'm just going to retire from professional wrestling. I'm going to hang my tights in an old, cold, clammy closet, putting my boots in an old suitcase somewhere in an attic where I'll never see them again, Mr. Russell. I'm just humiliated. This is a dark day.
Excuse me.
It's a dark day for me, baby.
Jimmy, we already seen you out here with your belt on. I guess you're sleeping with that on.
Well, you better believe I'm taking a bath with it on if you want to know the truth. Let me tell you something, Chick. And I have to be honest. For 3 weeks now, man, I've been sitting back and watching you on the tube. I've been watching you out here, and I think you have the best possibility of anybody I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if you know too much about my background or not, but let me tell you something, man. I handled Paul Ellering. I turned him into a champion. Killer Carl Krupp, who was a champion. And, of course, Jerry Lawler, who I'm very disappointed in. He's through. He has been. But let me tell you something, man. You've got $1 million body. You've got a Cadillac, but nobody to drive it. I want to be that driver.
But, Jimmy, I'm humiliated.
But, man, look at you, though. Chick, listen to me. Look at you, man. Look at you. I'm telling you, you're a champion. You're championship material, man. You're out here with your head hanging between your legs. That makes me sick. All of my life, I've had to fight for everything. Listen to me. Everything I've ever had all my life, man, I've had to fight for. I'm making you an offer right now. You signed with Tojo Yamamoto, that fat little Jap. He's washed up. He's been washed up. He's overweight and out of date and out of shape. I'm here to stay. The family is magic. You can be magic. I can put magic into you, Chip. Let me tell you something right now. You give me a chance. You sign with Jimmy Hart, and I'll promise you, you'll be a champion. You'll be a champion. You know, we have a philosophy in the family. You got to have a little rhythm, man. Look at you. You look at the way you're dressed now. Come on, we can do it. Listen at this, baby.
But I listen to him.
Mom, just listen. I know you listen to him, but don't listen to him. He's washed up. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to you. Listen. We are family. Wayne, Kevin, Chick, and Jimmy. Does that sound good? Chick, hey. We are family. Sing it, baby. Kevin, Wayne, Chick, and Jimmy. What do you think, baby? See, it's magic. You can do it. You can do it, baby. He's got it. You are the champion. Come on, we're going to talk. We're going to talk, you has-been. You're trying to kill this guy.
Will you get out of here? Now, we've had enough of you.
See the stage pretty well set. Hart giving Lawler plenty of room. Lawler just laughing at Hart in his boxing movements. Around the ring, the Lumberjacks. Dundee on the far side, closest to you with his back is Steve Kern, his back to you.
On the right side, as you look at it, on the floor from Oil Trough, Dutch Mantell. And on this side, closest to our timer's desk, Roy Rogers. Jerry Lawler zinging a big right hand right at Lawler. Hart scooped up some powder and threw it right in Lawler's eyes, holding his jaw where Lawler nailed him. And look at Hart go. He is a wild animal trapped, and he knows it. He's fighting for his life. Chokehold on Lawler. Remember, to the finish. No disqualification. The referee is on the outside of the ring. Steve Keirn pulled that sack of powder out as Hart is going after Lawler like a wild man. He double hands Lawler. Lawler still having a hard time getting to his feet. His eyes really bothering him where Hart nailed him with that powder. And Jimmy Hart, street fighting. He is fighting for his life. He goes get some more powder and rubs it in Lawler's eyes. He cannot be disqualified. And I think the crowd is stunned. I know Lawler is. Jerry Lawler now back up. The King, clearing his eyes enough to see Hart, drops with that right hand. Lawler, short chopping right hand that puts Hart down. Hart, face first on the mat, comes out of his trunks. We could see something shining, looks like a chain, and he nails Lawler. Hart again nails him. He's got a chain in his hand. He puts Lawler down with that one. Around Lawler's neck. He's choking him. Lawler specifically told the Lumberjacks, do not interfere regardless of what he does. Just don't let him get out of the ring. Jimmy Hart in a no disqualification match, choking Jerry Lawler. Hart, as we said, really battling like a wild animal. Goes at the throat of Lawler with that chain again. Dundee, Rogers, everybody cheering Jerry on, but Hart with that chain has got Lawler in trouble. Jimmy Hart wraps that chain around his hand and shoots again at Lawler. Bam, he nailed him with that chain. And look out for the King. Hart knows he's in serious trouble. Lawler going after the chain, takes it away from Hart. Jimmy Hart, pillar to post now. There's no place to hide, and Lawler nails him. The King puts him down. Hart gets out. Steve Keirn, Mantell. Throw him right back in. Lawler says, try that way. Dundee grabs him and throws him in. Here he comes after Roy Rogers. Rogers with him. pushes him back under the rope. Hart trying to hang on. He doesn't want Lawler. His advantage gone. Lawler with a chain goes after him. Over the shoulder. And the finish could be all over. He has really got Hart where he wants him. Mantell blocks him in on that side of the ring. Hart barely able to pull himself up to his knees. Falls back. Lawler pulls him to the center of the ring. This is what the King has been after for a long time. Drops with the elbow on that leg. Bangs down again with it. He is loving every minute of the problems that Jimmy Hart has given him. He remembers them. And with a vengeance, he's going after Hart. Again, the elbow. Spinning leg lock, and he really has Hart. Oh, boy. Lawler just pouring it on. Every bit of that 234 is behind it. All the memories of the problems that he has had is added to it. Jimmy Hart. Referee Jerry Calhoun says he gives it up. It's all over. Lawler is the winner. 7:49. Lawler says, get out of here. You don't belong in here anyhow. And he throws Calhoun out. Jerry Lawler has won the bout in 7:49, but it's not good enough. He spins, Hart screaming. Lawler again with that spinning leg lock. You can tell the vengeance is coming out. Here comes the first family down. Hart saying, no, 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 watch my leg. The crowd loving it. As Hart holding his leg. So the leader of the pack, the head of the first family, being carried by Chick Donovan.
Yeah, well, that was the scene as it took place, and quite a scene it was. That was exactly Lawler's dream match. He wanted to get Hart where the first family could not interfere, where he had a lumberjacks that would not let him get out of the ring. He was successful in getting him in that type of a match, and the result, well, you've seen it. And so Jimmy Hart ended up with a broken leg. Let's hear the comments that Hart had to make.
I love it, thank you, but I ain't gonna be able to wear it to get through, but I love the color and everything. When is Chick and Wayne and the Nightmares coming back? Okay, that's fine. Can you raise my back up a little bit right now? Oh, God, not so fast, please. Please, the foot, that's a foot button, the foot button. What do you want to raise, the foot or the head? Oh, the foot. Look, Kevin, my leg is broke. You're killing me. You are absolutely killing me right now. I'm telling you. Okay. Please, just stop, please. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm snappy. I'm sorry. Please. They can't. The camera's not looking at my gown, is it? No. Come on, put it down here a bit. First of all, you told them we don't anybody know where we are, right? They understood?
Hey, before we go any further, you know, no one's supposed to know where we are, right? Correct? All right.
Okay, if you raise it down one more time, but please do the button on the right.
Down or up?
Yeah,
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Wait a second.
Wait just a minute. Who is... Where's my glasses?
They're over there, Jimmy. Let me get
sitting on them. I'm sitting on them.
No, they're over there on the thing. We'll get rid of this for you.
Okay.
I'll get these out of your way, okay? Here
I
looks
don't want
good.
those stupid letters anyhow.
Okay. Wait a minute. Here's my here. I'll move my prison, okay?
All right. Everybody wants to know the condition of Jimmy Hart and the condition of the First Family. Well, let me tell you something right now. Don't you worry about Jimmy Hart's condition or the First Family's condition. You people of Memphis, you better worry about your condition right now, because let me tell you something, man, you are very sick. Y'all need help so bad. I need to try to bring in about 50 psychiatrists to help you out, because, buddy, you are in trouble. I've lived in Memphis all of my life, and I've never seen the worst taste of sportsmanlike conduct in my life from you people out there. I climbed in the ring, a Christian athlete all of my life, Memphis born and Memphis bred, an athlete, high school athlete. I have done everything from Memphis, Tennessee to put it on the map that I could possibly do. Cut million-seller records, everything. Climbed to the top of the ladder in professional wrestling. And brought you in the best talent that has ever been in this territory. And I crawled in that ring Monday night with Jerry Lawler. And he used a chain on me, and he used salt on me. He used everything humanly imaginable. And you people were laughing and cheering. When he came off that top rope, which is illegal, you people went crazy. If he'd have had a gun, let me tell you something. If he'd have had a gun and blown my head off, these people would have gone crazy,
Jimmy,
Kevin.
if he had an axe and said, let me cut off his head, they would have said yes. You know why? Because it's like I've told you before. All these Southerners, it isn't just Memphis, it's all the Southerners are sick, Jimmy. This is what's wrong with society today. They are sick. This is a real sick society. You could see it on their faces. There's faces that looked exactly like Kern's face, looked like Lawler's face. They're all sick. And Jimmy, as you know, the only thing sane in this world today is the family. We're the only guiding light left. We're the only thing sane. You look at the rest of society. Like you said, they were yelling at you everything, Jimmy, and that was your hometown. Can you imagine how it is for outsiders? They're just sick. But don't worry, the family will be taken care of. You're still the brains. We all know that. And tell those people what the condition of the family will continue.
I love you, baby. Let me just say something right now, Jerry Lawler. I hate you, brother. And if I have to gain weight, if I have to gain 45 more pounds to weigh 200 pounds and come in the ring to get you, I promise I'll do it. So you want to know the condition of Jimmy Hart? Hey, I've never had a broken leg before, so I don't know how long I'm going to be out. But let me tell you something, Lawler. Sure, you kicked mine, you know what.
Hey, wait
and
a second, Jimmy, never, ever say that, baby. Never say that. He didn't do it. You look at that Kern. What did Kern do? When you were managing the match with Chick, he went down there and snatched you up, picked you up, and drove you on his knee. Oh, he's a big, tough, strong guy. Drove you on his knee. That's when you probably get the fracture. Then, with that great fighting heart that very few people have, you crawled in the ring against Jerry Lawler when he had his 4 henchmen around the ring. And if they want to play back the tape, they can see all 5 of them punching and kicking at that leg, which was probably fractured at the time. And then Jerry Calhoun came in and said, do you want to stop the match? And Jerry Lawler said, let it continue. The promotion was part of this conspiracy. The whole thing was to get rid of the First Family. Because, Jimmy, I felt like a trapped dog trying to get through that fence when I saw what was happening to you. You know what Eddie Marlin came up to me and said? He said, take 1 step out of here and you're suspended for a year. That was the whole thing, to get rid of the First Family. But let me tell you something, Jerry Lawler and Steve Kern. You listen to me right now. We have a plan.
Don't you...
Okay, that's it. Cut that interview. Let's get it.
Today we're going to have Chick Donovan in here. He'll be going against Tim Leonard in a single match. It'll be the Japanese team, Onita and Fuchi with Tojo Yamamoto. They go against Roy Rogers and Pat Hutchinson. Coco Ware, David Price teamed against the Nightmares. And big expiration of time match. It'll be the big team of Jim Dalton and Tom Stanton going against Bill Superstar Dundee and Jerry the King Lawler. Expiration of time in that one.
Well, I thought we were going to have to wait a while. I was going to make the announcement that Jimmy Hart was going to be out here, and we would have the pleasure of seeing the leader of the family out here. Looks like we don't have to wait. Well, Jimmy, I got to tell you, we've really missed you since you've been gone.
Well, I know you have, because I saw the show last week, and I know the whole world missed Jimmy Hart. Let me tell you something right now. I heard what you just said, Big Mouth, about all this tournament action going on for my belt. Let me tell you something, baby. I love this belt. This is the greatest thing to ever happen to me in my life, was beating Jerry Lawler for this belt right now. The Southern Heavyweight Championship belt. Listen, I hate these people out here. I don't know why you come on here for it. But let me tell you something right now. I got news for you. Everybody wants to make money off of Jimmy Hart because they know I've got 30 days to defend this belt. belt, but I can't defend it because of my bone in my leg's broken.
Right.
That's right. Well, let me tell you what, brother, and I got news for everybody. Today, Jimmy Hart today is going to defend his belt on TV. Now, how do you like that?
Man comes hobbling out here on crutches and saying he's going to defend it. No way.
Well, let me just tell you, no way or nothing. I am a super athlete. I am the great American hero. You know it, and the people over there know that I'm the great American hero. Get that smile off your face. I'd like to slap your face. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey.
But let me tell you, boys, so everybody in the back, you listen to me. Keep your tights on, brother, because I'm going to pick some lucky person today to put this Southern heavyweight strap up against, because the promoters everywhere ain't going to make no money off Jimmy Hart. You hear that, Eddie Marlin? You hear it? Go have a heart attack, old man.
You've been sitting around getting bizarre more as you're laying around with your broken leg in there, Jimmy.
Jimmy Mack is back.
We see you back. Hart's going to defend his title today with broken leg and crutches and 9 families in there. Jimmy Hart and the family coming in here. You bringing the entire family out for the Nightmares match or something?
Let me tell you what, I'm a man, Lawler. That's more than you'll ever be, brother. Right now, I'm going to put the Southern Heavyweight Championship belt up, just like I promised, for 500,000 sit-at-home people out there right now. You're going to see who the greatest athlete in the world is right now, a Christian athlete.
You still got a cast.
That's right, I've got a cast, but it's going to show you what a man I really am, right, baby? So right now, I'm going to make the announcement. Help me with my robe. Right now, I'm going to make the announcement. Thank you. Look at this belt right here. Look at this body, people. Look at the greatest body to ever hit Memphis, Tennessee. They love me. Don't they love me? Listen at this. Right now, the moment everybody's been waiting for. I am going to put my Southern Heavyweight Championship belt up, the belt that I love, against, in my opinion, one of the greatest athletes in the world, Chick Donovan. Super Chick.
Oh, come on, Jimmy.
He's going to be the one to face me.
You are absolutely out of your mind.
It's going to be a tough belt, but I'm going to do it, brother. Right now, the Southern belt is at stake. The Southern belt. Come on.
Hey, what is all of this stuff? He comes out here and says he's going to put the Southern belt up against Chick Donovan in there. We've got a match scheduled with the Nightmares going against Coco Ware and David Price and Hart. Look at that. They're having to help him into the ring. What is this stuff? He can't wrestle with a cast on his leg. You guys aren't the referee. Hey, come on now. I didn't ring it. Chick Donovan, look, this is a farce. Jimmy Hart, you're making a joke out of the whole thing. He picks Chick Donovan, one of his boys. Isn't that ridiculous? Referee Jerry Calhoun didn't tag him.
He didn't count either. No, one of the Nightmare did it.
Come on now. He can't do that.
Of course not.
No way.
That's the match not scheduled, not approved. The referee did not signal for the bell to be rung.
I didn't ring the bell.
You didn't ring the bell, and the referee didn't make the count.
Now I suppose that you're saying that Chick Donovan is the new Southern Heavyweight champ. No way, man.
I'm saying right now, brother, you're looking at the new Southern Heavyweight champion, the greatest athlete in the world, and I've managed everybody you can think of, baby. Austin Idol, Jimmy Valiant, everybody. And I'm saying this man is the new Southern Heavyweight champion, and I'll prove to you he'll be the greatest professional athlete to ever hit Memphis, Tennessee, or anywhere else.
You've pulled a lot of things in your time, Hart, but you're not going to get away with that.
How do you like that, baby?
I don't like it, and nobody else likes it. It's just as wild as that match where you got the title.
He can be sassy or he can be nasty, but baby, beat him if you can.
You can't give away a title like that. He's got to earn it. Come on.
Listen, people, I'm going to be the greatest fighting champion Tennessee has ever had. Mr. Russell, let me tell you one more thing. This belt means nothing to me. It's nothing but a piece of leather. But what it represents a super mind, a great heart, and A beautiful, beautiful body, baby. One more thing. I can be sassy, I can be nasty, but beat me if you can.
Fine. Baloney. Which I think you would have to say in a mild sense, at the very least in the way of an understatement, is the First Family has come upon a hard time. Jimmy Hart and what's left of the First Family. Well, okay, Jim.
You know, this is the first time in my life I think I've ever been lost for words.
We started out here and heard you before, Jimmy. Good night. You come along with that. What's up your sleeve now?
You know what, Lance? You're typical. You're typical like everybody else. Kick a man when he's down. Is that your motto? Kick him when he's down, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me just tell you something right now. When I was coming through the door just a few minutes ago, this little cripple lady there gave me this hat. And it said, "Wrestling, the king of sports." And she said, "Jimmy, you are wrestling, and you are the king." And I said, "Sweetheart, I was the king, but no more. I'm out here to tell you, look at my man, Chick Donovan. Look at this. Look at his leg."
Well, that's some kind of brace that he's got on that knee there. Obviously, Chick out of action.
Steve Keirn hurt this man's knee intentionally. He tried to cripple this man for the rest of his life. Look at my nightmares when I was away. Look what happened to my nightmares.
Danny
Unmasked.
Davis and Ted Allen, yes.
That's right. You know, everybody used to say, Danny Davis, he's a manager. But you see what Jimmy Hart did? Jimmy Hart took Danny Davis and Ted, and we put our brains and minds together, and we turned them into a super team. You know that.
Yeah. Oh, you forgot to mention, I've never seen so many crutches in my life. The Hart cast, I want to bring that out.
Well, let me just say this. Jerry Lawler did this to me, and that's fine, man. They've got to live with it, not me. They've got
walking wounded.
The walking wounded. Well, I'm just here to tell you, everybody, this today, is that the First Family of professional wrestling is through. The last casualty to the list is Kevin Sullivan and Wayne Ferris.
Wait, Jimmy, before you go on, I've got some tape of an interview. You know you were there, and I would like to share with the people and let them see what happened in a particular situation.
This is funny, don't you?
No, I'm not saying it's funny. Just let me roll it. Come on, let's go. Let's go in. Let's go in. Hey, wait, can we get... Yeah, bring on in. Hey, well, now, wait a minute. Come on. Listen. Hey, I heard... Okay, wait a minute. I've been to a family meeting before. You don't look as happy tonight as you did then. What's going on? What's all the hollering?
I'll tell you what's going on.
I'll bet, yeah.
I'll tell you what's going on. You know, because you're a Southerner just like the rest of these jerks. When I came down here, I'm the first piece of class they ever had. The family's the only class they have in this country today. And you, just like the rest of the Southerners. Okay, let me tell you what. I don't ever mind losing a match, but we got it royally. They took that, they didn't win, they stole everything. First of all, they had their own referee. Second, the illegal man who tagged Lawler pinned me, and you know how he pinned me, Russell? Because you were there, you saw it. He took this cane from Jimmy Hart and whacked me on the head with it. You think that's fair? Well, let me tell you something. You can push some of the people around. You're not pushing me around. The South doesn't need me, and I don't need you people, because I'm going to quit. Right now, Russell, I'm quit.
Hey.
I quit. This is it.
Get out of here.
Sullivan.
You want me to leave because you're Southern?
All of it, though. That's why, Russell, because of you and because of Eddie Marlin.
I'd be quiet from here or anything else.
That's all it. The whole thing's a conspiracy to get rid of the feeling.
You guys end up losing a match and you get sore.
Nothing. You know it. Don't worry, referee. You can clutch. Run, man, pin me. It better be. We're going to get this reversed, Jimmy.
Okay, well. Okay, I'm going. All right.
quitters. That's what it was.
Well, let me tell you something, Russell. Corruption in the music business is what put me in the wrestling business, man. But let me tell everybody something right now. Eddie Marlin, you can do anything to us that you want to do, brother. You can come in here and you can find me and Chick for anything. You can have your referees trying to fix some matches on my men, and you can do whatever you want to do because I know exactly what's going on. But you'll never run Jimmy Hart out of professional wrestling because there will always be a first family in professional wrestling. I've got friends, baby, and it's pulling together. Look at these. Look at this. Can y'all guys wake up here? Get a shot of this right over here. Look who's sitting this hard. Bo Derek. Bo Derek said, Jimmy Hart, I love you. Get well. Well, baby, I am well. Look at this right down here. Clint Eastwood, he said, hang in there, baby. Hang 'em high, and I am hanging 'em high. Look at this. Jane Fonda loves me. Sally Fields. And last but not least, Reggie Jackson. But why? Because Jimmy Hart is a winner. That's exactly the reason why. But let me tell you, baby, help is on the way for the first family. Help is on the way. Come here, boys. Get a shot over here. My main man, Handsome Jimmy Valiant. I called Handsome Jimmy, and I said, Handsome Jimmy, I produced your record for you, brother. I'm the one that got you in Memphis, Tennessee. And he said, Jimbo from Memphis, I love you, darling, and I'm on my way. Look at this. Austin Idol, the universal heartthrob, the man of the hour. He said, Jimmy, he was down in Tampa, Florida, and I called him, and I said, Austin, I need you. I want you back in the family. And he said, I'll be there, brother. I'm coming. The Turk and El Toro, they're on their way. Paul Ellering, he had a little accident down in Atlanta just recently, but he's going to be well in a couple of weeks, and Paul is on his way. Look over here. Look at this. Big Joe LeDuc. What can you say about Joe LeDuc, baby? He called me and he said, Jimmy, I'm in Canada, but I'm on my way. If you need me. And I said, I do need you, brother. Look at this. The Funk Brothers are coming. Paul Ellering down here. Last but not least, Killer Carl Crew. He's in the Maritimes, and he says, Jimmy, I'm coming back to the family. They're all coming back to the family because the family is the greatest thing to ever happen anywhere in the world. Nobody's going to run Jimmy Hart out. My Nightmares are the greatest team. Chick, I'm going to be working on Chick's leg this week, brother, and he's going to be back in action. Don't you worry. Ron Bass, like he said, Ron Bass is going to be here. It took me a little bit of money to get Ron Bass, but he signed a contract with me. But right now, what I want to introduce to you people for right now.
Aren't coming back to you in there. They just left you.
Well, let me just say like this, you know. Jimmy Hart, I've took every beating that I've had to go in that ring and get, brother. Everybody's dished it out, but I'm still here standing up. Sure, I've got a broke bone in my leg right now, but I ain't crying about it. Lawler broke my jaw, but I was still out here, brother. But you see, Wayne Ferris and Kevin Sullivan, I did everything that a human could possibly do for these men. But you see, they're quitters. They're losers. We don't want quitters in the first family. We want nothing but winners. Look at these people over here. You know what I'm talking about. We want winners. So if y'all are chickens, stay away from us because I've got the people around me now that I want. But last but not least, I want you people to get ready because I'm going to bring a man in right now that is definitely a killer in professional wrestling. If you want to get hurt bad, baby, this is the man you bring in. So I want you to give a warm, warm welcome for this man, the killer, Bugsy McGraw. Come here, Bugsy. Come here, Bugsy, baby.
We've heard all about Bugsy McGraw. We've heard about the big guy.
I haven't heard enough, baby. But they're talking about the first family, too. They're talking about a struggle. They're talking about reality, and it's right here. It's right now. These men may be on crutches. These men may be down for a little while. But let me tell you something at home. On the other side of that camera, you understand? Coming to you because I'm here. Coming to you because you're sitting there with a can of beer in your hand, sit beside your fellow lady with curls in her hair. Your kids running around your apartment, dropping food all over. And you got to step over what the dog left on the floor to turn on the TV to get some me, baby. And you're talking about a struggle. I'll tell you, that best time to struggle is when a man's down. The mark of a man, the mark of genius, the mark of a warrior comes. Understand, baby? Comes. It comes when you got to fight from the depths, baby, and you can't see any light. The light's not there, but all you do is struggle. You come and struggle. You fight. You get hit in the mouth, and you fight twice as hard. Somebody kicks you in the guts, baby, and you say, do it again, because I'm coming for your blood, baby. They may call me sick. They may call me crazy. But they call me winner. It's life, baby. It's life, and I know how to live it.
Can I get the microphone?
You can get your mama.
The family will never die. The family will live forever, and so will Jimmy Hart. Forever!
One fall, 15-minute time limit, 246 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee. On the left of your screen, Buddy Wayne. And 232 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, the King, Jerry Lawler. One fall, 15-minute time limit match. Jerry Calhoun's the referee.
All righty, bell time, maybe. Here we go, if we can get it to ring. Everything else has been that way today.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Buddy Wayne going against the King, Jerry Lawler. And Buddy going at him with that right hand. Jerry blocks him, brings a big right back, comes right over on top of Buddy Wayne. Starts pounding away and referee jaw.
Oh, look out.
One.
Stop.
Well, if we end up with anything left here, Dave, it is a disqualification on this one. Hart, the first family.
Lawler, with both of the Heartbreakers. Dream Machine. Dream with a club.
He
hit Lawler. He's all over Lawler in there.
McGraw, the Dream.
Here comes Kern Mantell at Dundee.
Hey, come on, Jerry.
A Dream Machine.
Come on, Eddie, see if you can get some of those guys out of there.
Right, Dream Machine hit Lawler. Still trying to work on him. Dundee and Mantell shove him out of there.
Lawler really stomped upon. I am not believing. The Dream Machine came out and nailed Lawler with a club or something like that.
Yeah. I thought he was going after Hart, and he swung and he hit Lawler, and then he came back and really started working him over.
Trying to get Jerry McGraw joined by the Dream Machine. You heard it right. I couldn't believe what I was seeing in there. I thought maybe he missed him the first time and just accidentally hit him, but there wasn't anything accidental about
no doubt
that.
About it.
He just was pounding on him, and then joined with McGraw dropping the big elbows on him. The whole first family doing it. Lawler being carried out of the area where the whole first family jumped on him. Oh. They jumped. McGraw, get those guys out of here. Lawler down on the floor. They're going after Hart underneath the ring. That's the King. They came back in and dumped him off that chair where they had, they were carrying Lawler out on it. The Dream Machine is Hart. That's Bugsy McGraw. That's a road tool he's got right there. Jimmy Hart, who initially brought in the Dream Machine. I am not believing. They come in here and jump him in the ring and then dump him off the stage. Oh, get up, Jimmy. I don't even want to hear. What in the Sam Hill is this, Dream?
TCB, taking care of business. Graveyard digging the coffin, buying a long time. We've been on the family crime because all the King's horses and all the King's men can't put the King back together again, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, cut all that garbage out. And what the Sam Hill you mean jumping?
Well, I'm trying to tell you, if you'll shut up long enough before I can tell you, let me tell you something. Every time they come down the pike, every time something took place, title shots, championship matches, it's always Lawler and Dundee. Lawler and Dundee, but this man right here give me the greatest chance of all to be on top right off the bat against Jerry Lawler. And you know one other thing, this right here bring it all down to a screeching halt, if you know what I'm talking about, baby. Because 10,000 people watching said, don't take your mask off, Dream. The only thing that I held with value, my mask. Say, don't take it off, baby. Don't take it off. And then who, out of all people, Lance Russell, you tell the Dream Machine who comes out and holds up a towel and says, oh, it's all right, Dream. Go ahead and take it off. Jerry Lawler, shame me one more time. But you know something? All the king's horses and all the king's men can't put the king back together again. Because I am that man that walked that barbed wire fence 32,000 miles barefooted. He still stone case, started lighting with bread, picked up the blue gas. Okay. Big man, we are here to stay, brother, not to play. You know what I'm saying, but it's going to be that graveyard digging a coffin buying a long time we've been in our family crime.
It gets serious, baby.
That's it.
Because we're family, all my brothers and sisters.
I'm telling you, Dream, he'll get you. He'll get you before it's over with. Okay, get out of here. Now, it's going to be time for us to get filled in at the individual request of the head of the First Family.
What they've all been waiting for, baby. Look, the First Family.
An update, a report on the family.
Look at this right here, man. Star Magazine, Ladies Diana Family Secrets. They're trying to say I was with Lady Diana. I've never been with that broad in my life, man. I don't even know who she is. I settled the baseball strike. Everything is going great for the First Family, man. I got my cast off. Look at this, Russell.
I know that.
Great tonight. Big Bugsy McGraw, the Dream Machine, my Mike Nares. Hey, Danny, baby, looking beautiful. Chick, my super assistant right here. What do you want to ask us, brother?
I notice he's still on crutches.
Don't you worry. That's right, baby. We're on top of the world, baby. We're on top of the world, right, Bugsy Donner?
We're rare, and we're there. Come and get us, baby.
Over here,
Moment of power. Look how pretty I am. Look how pretty I am, baby.
Come on now, Lawler. Don't start it. We've been...
Come on, get him out of here.
He's got the whip. He's got the whip now. No.
Hey, come on. Hey, come on. Get this stuff out of here. Come on, Jerry. Now, we've had too much of this stuff. Eddie, get in here and get... Hey, Lawler, don't do that. Oh, no. Come on, Jerry. Knock that stuff off now. Lawler, will you quit that stuff now? You're messing up the whole place. Get these guys. Eddie, come on, Jerry. Get out of here with that stuff. Eddie, get in here and get some of this stuff. Now, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, Eddie. Get him out. Come on. Oh, you're messing this thing up. Will you please get out of here? Hey, come on, you guys. I know. Fun. Ridiculous, Eddie.
Yes, like this, he's going to be suspended. That old...
I know everybody's having fun. Okay. Hart. Boy, I tell you, these guys are absolutely getting crazy. Was kind of funny. Let's take a break. I'm going to be back in a minute.
This one also one fall, 15-minute time limit, introducing at 212 pounds, Nightmare #1. And on the right of your screen, at 232 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, the King, Jerry Lawler. 1 fall, 15-minute time limit. Referee Jerry Calhoun.
Woogie, we're about ready to go with the second of the first round matches for the vacated TV title, Dave. Lawler's got to be a favorite, although I will say that Nightmare #1, while giving away a little weight, brother, he is some kind of rough.
He is indeed. Boy, he has been rough and tough against all opponents. He, along with his partner, Nightmare #2. Oh! Back on the ropes. And the referee is warning him about that. Jerry Lawler complaining about being shoved down, and the Nightmare said, hey.
Hooked his leg and dumped him is what he did.
He said we were on the ropes and wanted to break. That's why he did it again. Hooked that leg back behind Lawler's left leg and just shoved him back to the mat.
Get him to his job, okay? And make him get him shut your mouth.
Lawler back onto the rope. And dumps the Nightmare to the mat a couple of times. And again. Now the Nightmare complains that Lawler pulled his mask. That's the way he was getting him off his feet.
Just a little turnabout being fair play right there, Dave.
Exactly what it amounts to. Center of the ring. Lawler fired into the rope. Both of them going. Nightmare set. Presses Lawler to the mat. Count of 1, 2. Lawler
really fired him up the air, didn't he?
Boy, he sure did. He broke that up at the count of 2 without any trouble whatsoever. Now the Nightmare wants conference with the referee. He's talking to the crowd. He said, you saw it, you saw it. And they say, what?
They say, who cares? He didn't know anything but pull my mask. That's the only thing he knows how to say. Because the Nightmare being one of the first family, I was just looking at Lawler, and of course this guy is nobody to take lightly, this Nightmare. Lawler really very intense in this bout. Oh, beauty. Put him down hard.
But Lawler sustaining part of the damage there. I think he drove his nose into that mat as he put the brakes on.
Running a bulldog on him in there, and the Nightmare taking time out to do a little commentary on how great he is. He'll get his brains knocked out that way.
Trying to bulldog again. Lawler shoves him into the rope. Suplex. And the Nightmare rolling on the mat now. Lawler picks him up. The right hand. Nightmare takes the opportunity to get out of the ring. There he is, down on the floor. Now looking to the crowd for sympathy and finding none. There is Lawler, just waiting on the Nightmare as he's bouncing around the outside of the ring. Now back up on the apron, through the ropes. 3 minutes, 50 seconds. So we're coming up on the 4-minute mark of this tournament match. First round action in the tournament to decide the new Championship Wrestling TV champion. Nightmare #1 with the headlock on Lawler. Four and a half minutes gone. Nightmare, pounding on Lawler. Back in the corner. Nightmare with that right fist, warned by the referee. The First neck breaker. Lawler out of that one. Out of one, he's able to kick out.
Kicked out, but he didn't throw him off as he did in that first time in there. So the Nightmare having a little effect on the King.
Upper arm, a cover by the Nightmare. Down to one again. Lawler nailed by Nightmare number one, and again. And Lawler answering in kind. He backs the Nightmare under the rope. Whips him across the ring, upper arm. Nightmare hits the mat. Lawler backs up. Going with the smash. Nightmare was gone. Lawler in the air. Body slam. Nightmare goes for the rope. Lawler rolled out of the way. 5 minutes, 45 seconds into the action. Oh, Lawler with the arm. Hitting nothing as the Nightmare had moved. Lawler hooks him down. Small package. 1, 2, 3. The rest of the First Family hits the ring.
Wrestling's on the way down today, baby. You're going to see it. 200.
Get out of here. Don't be bringing it. You better not bring any of that stuff. Don't start that stuff. Yeah. Hart.
The entire First Family holding Jerry Lawler. Here comes Dundee. He grabs Hart. Steve Kern to Gibson. Dutch Mantell. And the First Family now gone except for the Dream Machine. Dream Machine still there. Dundee telling the King about the box that Jimmy Hart brought in here. With whatever's in there. Dream bails out of the ring. Lawler out of there after him. It's molasses. And more feathers.
Come on, Jerry. Hey, that's enough of that now. Come on, get him out of here. Come on, Calhoun. Get him off. Billy. Don't. Oh, there's no excuse for that. Now, that's enough of that. Get.
First Family is fined $500 for bringing all this junk out here. Lawler and Dundee is fined $500 for using it.
I hope maybe it'll cut out some of this stuff. Come on. Just get out of here, Green. Will you just take your mess and get on out of here?
If you've got any stinking guts in your body, Lawler!
Come on, Green.
Come on, man!
You had all of him you want. Boy, that's something terrible. Okay, I'll tell you, let's just go to a break and forget all about the thing. Yeah, take a break.
Man, talk to me now.
Will you just take it on back there with McGraw and that? And be sure and take your walking stick with you. Everybody saw you using the thing except the referee.
Well, you're blind like everybody else. I didn't do anything because I don't have to do anything. Here, throw me my sunglasses out here. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. You know, I've been making a lot of observations lately.
Oh, big deal.
No, I have. You know I have, man, because you know what? It's just like E.F. Hutton, baby. When Jimmy Hart talks, everybody listens. You understand it? They love me. Listen.
Yeah, I can see them all listening.
Well, you know, like I said, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, making a lot of observations, and you know, there's a man right here now that I think is world-class championship material.
Oh, I know. The First Family's got, who is it, Bugsy or the Dream Machine or one of the Nightmares in there that you're so proud of?
No, Buzzard Breath, it's not. Let me tell you who it is, man. It's somebody that you can't even believe, but this man is definitely world championship material, and I hate to see him waste his life away with the people that he's hanging around. And the man's name is Steve Kern.
Steve Keirn is the... Yes, sir.
You're saying that?
I'm saying that I've been watching Steve Keirn now for about 5 or 6 weeks. And I'm telling you, the man has got championship material.
With the misery that he's inflicted on your first family, you're talking about Steve Keirn?
Well, let me just say
you
this.
got something up your sleeve.
We have something in common, Steve Keirn and Jimmy Hart, baby. And it is that I hate Orientals. And I know Steve Keirn hates Orientals because I know that he loves and respects his father very, very much, just like I love and respect my father very, very much. And I know also that Steve Keirn's father was a prisoner of war in Vietnam. It was in all the papers. You know it, and I know it too.
No point in going
so like I said
that.
before, there is no love lost between Jimmy Hart and the Orientals, and I know how Steve Keirn feels about them. And so, to make a long story short, what I'm trying to say right now is this, is that there's an opening position right now in the First Family Professional Wrestling. And I'm telling you right now, Steve Keirn, if you're listening to me, that's right, laugh, Russell. Go ahead, laugh. Be a smart aleck and laugh. I'm saying right now, Steve Keirn, if you're listening in the back, there's a position waiting for you, baby, because I like your action. And with Jimmy Hart by your side, you can be a world champion. You can be everything that you're not now.
You're trying to invite Steve Keirn into the... You know what? I really think in that brain of yours that you are dead serious in there. But listen, you know what I really think is behind the whole thing?
Oh, what's that?
And that is simply because Tojo Yamamoto has champions.
Oh, God.
Jimmy Hart doesn't have the Southern
Let me tell
Who's
you
got
something,
him? You guys
baby.
don't have
Who won the belts for him? If I hadn't have been out here, they wouldn't have won the belts because Lawler left Dundee, left
You're
in the ring,
afraid
you
that
fool.
Yamamoto has outdone you in the wrestling business, and you're trying to figure some way to get a guy to hurt Bill.
Well, baby, the only thing holding him up is his varicose veins on Tojo Yamamoto. He's going to have a heart attack in the ring, and Jimmy Hart will be long here after he's dead and gone.
You're scared. I think you're afraid
I'm
of
not
your
scared of
position in the
anything or anybody, and you know it. And get that smart grin off your face, because Gordon Sully's going to take your job over. How you like that, Stu jerk?
Fine. Well,
but I'm saying it right now.
About Tojo taking yours over.
Well, what I'm saying is Steve Keirn right now, baby. That's what I'm saying. There's a position in the First Family. You shut your big... Shut up. Take that baby out of here with you. Get that kid out of here. I'm sick of
Turn around here.
Get her out of here,
Or
man.
just get out of here.
I hate freeloaders. No, I'm not
gotta be joking.
All right. Am I joking now? Am I serious now, brother?
Steve Keirn's his own man. He does his own talking. Nobody tells him anything.
And talent when I see talent.
Yeah, well, I know the kind of talent you're looking for. This guy says there's an opening in the First Family. He's had his eye. He thinks you're championship material, and because the fact that he doesn't like Orientals and the unfortunate experience that your father had in there, he thinks you got a lot in common, Steve.
Well, first of all, Lance, Jimmy Hart's right about one thing. My dad was a prisoner of war in Vietnam for 7.5 years. Maybe that's what I attribute to not liking the Orientals. But you know something, Hart? You're promising me an awful lot by making me the world champion. And that's something that I've always wanted. Everybody knows that. But that's something that every professional should want. But you know, there's something else my dad taught me. He says that you've got to be able to trust a man before you can put yourself in his hands.
Amen. Not the most trustworthy soul I ever saw.
Well, let me just say something right now. I think this speaks for itself. I could have kicked Chick Donovan out in the cold, cripple a gimp, but who stood by him? Jimmy Hart. So I think that has to speak for something right there, baby.
Yeah. I don't know what. Always think.
I'm out here giving you a chance of a lifetime, Keirn. Look at you. You're with Dundee. Dundee has gone through 50 partners a year, man. He's washed up. You're not like him. You know that. You've got everything going. You have got youth. You have got charisma. And that's what the First Family lives on, baby. It's magic. And Jimmy Hart is magic, and Jimmy Hart can make you, brother. And that's the deal.
Watch it up the sleeve.
Well, you know, like I said, my dad taught me to be able to trust a man. Now, if I'm going to be able to trust a man, you know, you just got your leg out of a cast not too long ago.
Right.
It's probably still pretty weak.
That's right.
Probably could be injured real easily, right?
There's no doubt about it.
Well, I'll tell you what. In order for me to trust you, you're going to have to trust me. So I'm going to make you a deal. I'm going to get you in the ring. I'd like you to get up in the ring, and I'd like you to let me place you anywhere in the ring that I can place you, and then I'll climb up that top rope, and I'll let your leg lay right across that bottom rope, and you'll be looking up at me that whole time, and you'll be wondering, is there a slightest doubt in my mind? And If you'll let me get up there, I'll make either one or two decisions when I climb up there. I'll either come down and I'll re-break your leg right here on television, or else now there's another part of it. This is where your trust has to come into my hands. You're going to have to show me you trust me. You're going to have to say, I trust you, Steve, with all my heart. I'll come down that rope. I'll reach out. I'll shake your hand. And you'll make me the next world's heavyweight champion.
There you are, Jim. Just like a man, man to man. He's saying you got to trust me in order for me to trust you. Just climb right up there and let him make that decision.
You have got to be kidding. Are you serious? Hey, wait, hold it. Hold it. Come here.
You don't want to do it?
Wait a minute, Russell. Why don't you shut up and keep out of this? Will you shut your big fat mouth?
You just about used up enough time. He made you a fair proposition.
Well, listen, I got all the time I want. Let me tell you something. So that's your deal, huh, Steve? Well, I'm going to let you know where my heart's at because, brother, I believe you are a champion, and I'll do it. I'll get in that ring, and I'll do it.
You're going to climb up and put your leg on it.
Because I promise you, I can turn this man into a world champion. You will be the greatest thing in the family. Bugsy McGraw, the Dream Machine, and all of my people, man. And I'm telling you, this is the final touch on it.
I'm not believing this.
Where you want me, baby.
I'm not. He's accepting the offer in there, Steve.
Man's got a lot of trust in me, doesn't he?
Well, I'll tell you what. I thought he was dead serious. I'm not really.
I've been more serious than I've ever been in my life, Steve Kearn, and I'm telling you right now.
Well, quit running your mouth and get up in the ring in there. There he is.
Wear this jacket either while I'm gone.
Jimmy Hart has agreed, as a matter of his indication of trust in Steve Kearn, to let Kearn climb up on the top rope. He has already made him one of two choices. He's either going to jump off on the leg, Dave, or he's going to come down, take it, and he's going to make himself part of the first family at the hands of Hart. Hart, his leg's still tender. He just got it, what, 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah.
Cast off, yeah.
Just got it out of the cast. Kearn laying it up on the bottom rope. He's telling Jimmy, just lay back and take it easy, Jimmy. Steve Kearn, now satisfied with his replacement. Hart saying, hey, come on now. Remember, you can climb down and become the world heavyweight champion. Steve goes up to the top rope. Decision time as Kearn stands up. Hart saying, hold it. Now, wait a minute. He didn't realize how high Kearn was going to be up there, whether he flies or walks down those ropes. Kearn looks around at the people, and he came off on Hart's leg. Ooh. Comes the Dream Machine and Bugsy McGraw, the Nightmares, Chick Donovan.
One thing I failed to mention, Lance Russell, but my dad also taught me another lesson. And Jimmy Hart, when you get where you can listen to this, you're going to learn something from this, brother. My dad taught me something else. He says no matter how good the offer is, never accept anything from your enemies.
Well, there you go. Maybe Hart, who thought he's too smart to learn anything from anybody, has just learned a lesson from Steve Kearn, as Kearn never said he wasn't going to come off on it. What he said was, you got a choice. I'll either come down.
What he said, all right?
Yeah, I know. Okay, Bugsy, just take your wounded hero out of here. As Steve said, I'll either come down and shake hands and it's a deal, or I'll jump down on your leg. He never said he wasn't going to jump down on his leg.
No, he said
and there goes Jimmy Hart. The wounded leader is Steve once again pounded down. Now, Larry, his alley-oop dream machine. He had his ups and downs, as you well saw there. And sometimes was like that comic book character, the Dream Machine, who is the current Southern heavyweight champ, as a matter of fact. And Jimmy Hart.
What's wrong with you, man? What the hell's the matter with you? I'll beat your shit, man. Get out, man. You're going to make me look like a fool. You're going to make me look like a fool, huh? You're going to make me look like a fool. Lawler, you will be tarred and feathered. You will be tarred and feathered. I'll kill you, Lawler. Nobody makes me look like a cartoon. Jimmy Hart, the Dream Machine, he's fired. $1,000 right here. You'll pay it or you won't wrestle here today and tomorrow and no other time.
Okay, Eddie, okay.
Lance, I'm sorry. I'm not paying you nothing. Get him out of here, Hart.
Just take him
out. Hell with you. I'm not paying you nothing. If he don't pay it, I'm not paying you nothing.
Idiot.
He didn't mean it. Okay, Eddie, he didn't mean it. Okay.
Yeah, he did. All right, get out of here. We'll be back. In Jerry Lawler's own hometown was a match with the Dream Machine that stunned the wrestling world. Let's take a look. Coco trying to get the Dream to let up with him as he slams his head to the turnbuckle. And Lawler resists. That's what they've been waiting for. Lawler, big right hand, and another. The 15-minute mark, Lawler goes up to the ropes. Flies off there with that fist. One. Here comes Chick Donovan. Swinging the cane. Remember, no disqualification. Lawler gets up, nails Donovan. And the Dream coming after Lawler hits Donovan. Dream down, Lawler down. Coco Ware counting both wrestlers down. Donovan trying to get the Dream up. And as Lawler gets up, the Dream nails him. 1, 2, 3, and stunned. Jerry the King Lawler has been defeated. Now, hard to believe, I'll tell you for a fact in there, and we were sitting right at ringside, heard a lot of accusations about how it happened, but it was difficult to really verify any of the accusations except one thing, no disqualification match. And the Dream was the one that came out the winner. We're going to take time out, and we'll be back in just a moment. And they're ended right now. Okay, Dream, okay.
King Forte, hallelujah, glory, 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 the King. Yeah, you got something to say about it, huh?
I got nothing to say about it. I want to know what the purpose for all this is.
The purpose is today that I am honoring one of the most outstanding men in our sport today. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you right now King Jimmy Hart.
disappointed in you, Coco. I can tell you that.
Hallelujah. I love you, man. I love you. You look great.
Watch my crown.
You
watch
look
my
great,
crown.
Jimmy, just like the king that you are.
Baby, the king is here. Listen to the people. They know I'm the king of professional wrestling.
Hail the king. Hail the king. Hail the king.
Okay,
Our
okay.
Royal Majesty, hail the king.
Thank you.
Can you just get that thing down a little bit?
Out of here, just to turn it down just a little bit,
Yeah,
Russell.
fine. Great.
Look at him, people, the king of professional wrestling. Listen at him. Listen at him. You know, Lance, let me tell you something right now. Somebody this past week just became a man. Yes, a man in professional wrestling. A man that was kicked out by the people that was supposed to love him. A man that's been abused and misused for a long time. And I want to bring him up right now. Come here, come here. Come here, come here. Somebody hold this film. Come here, man, come here. I want to show the world something to you right now, brother. Look at this man right here. Coco Ware, let me tell you something, darling. I want to tell you something. Last week you became a man in professional wrestling. Now I know a lot of you ignorant people out there are saying, yeah, look at Jimmy Hart. He's going to probably put him in the family to have a little color to the family. Well, you are wrong. I love this man, baby. Let me tell you something, brother. If you want to be in the first family, you are here to stay and not to play, because when we're on top and we're going to rock, I want to do something for you. I want to give you the chance of a lifetime, a chance that Dundee and Kern and all those other little punks wouldn't do for you, man. A lot of talk, but I don't see no action. Do you want to be in the first family of professional wrestling?
I want to be in the
Well, brother, you are in it, and I'm fixing to crown this man right now. Come here, baby. I want to crown this man right now. Not Coco Ware, because that name is out of date, baby, but I want to crown you Sweet Brown Sugar, the newest member of the I'm hungry. Wait, we're not through. We are not through yet. We're not through.
Jimmy,
we're not through, baby.
Get on with it. And now, only what could be held for a king, baby, is a meal for a king, if you understand what I'm saying. And now, would you bring in, please, Sylvester Bondelay.
I am not believing it.
Some music,
I should believe it. I should believe it with this crew I got right. That is not Sylvester. No. My boy Sylvester. You will stoop to any end.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate that. Thank you. You know what? I love this. Right now. Into the mouth. Over the gums. Look out, stomach. Here Sylvester comes. Come on, baby. Bring it over here, kid.
Okay.
Dig in, baby. Dig in. Here, Lance, eat some.
Stop out of here. All right, we don't, hey, let's go to a break. Get out of here. I don't want
Being a handicap match here, as we've already heard from Rick Gibson, his brother Robert is not here. So Rick has said he will defend the belt himself against the Nightmare and Speed.
Look at him, the all-American hero, red, white, and blue. What a trooper he is. What a true spirit. Did he say that his mother was deaf and mute, right?
Yes, he did.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do for him, because you'll never be able to talk to him again, you punk. Because I'll tell you what, boys, hey, I want you to break his fingers where he can't talk to his mother. You understand me? Rip that tongue out. We're going to fix it where he can't talk to that old bag anymore.
Jimmy,
look at him, man.
get up,
What do you want, Lance?
Go get in the corner.
Make me go.
All right, I'll get the referee out here. He'll make you go.
Bring him down. I'm not just
Get him over there, will you?
I can sit where I want to sit, man.
No, you can't. You better
You stay right there.
Ring the bell. Ring the bell. This is a championship
This is a championship match.
baby.
Southern Tag titles on the line.
That shows how you little and stupid the people in this town really are. You see, that's
Come on, Jimmy.
dirty here. Get over here.
All right, challenging for the belts, a total weight of 418 pounds, with Jimmy Hart, their manager, the Nightmare, and Speed. And defending the Southern Tag Championship belts by himself at 229 pounds, Rick Gibson. This match will be one fall, 60-minute time limit. One fall, a 60-minute time limit. If the match is still continuing when we have to leave the air, we'll continue taping and show you the result of it next week. But 1 hour, the overall time limit on this one fall championship match. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Distinctly a possibility, too, Dave, because Rick Gibson made no bones about it due to the unfortunate situation that required Robert to be back
Down
home.
to the hair, just right there, Dave. Yeah, you just saw that. Did you tell the people?
I didn't look like hair to me.
You wake up, man. I'm going to give you some no-dos. Wake up, do something.
Will you please go sit down, Jimmy, and leave us alone over here? Rick has already made the comment that all he has to do is last out the time. He does not have to beat the Nightmare in
That's exactly
speed.
what he's going to try to do, man.
Yeah, he didn't make any bones
He's
about
not
it.
a real
Certainly, he's forced into a match where he can't have his brother here. His brother has to be out of town, and you know the reason why.
Look at him right there, baby.
Well, he looked pretty much like it right at that.
Come on. You can get him.
The Nightmare in with Rick Gibson right now. Rick, a really fine athlete, takes it. He didn't pull a mask. He grabbed him and took him over with the arm. Nightmare banged down as Rick Gibson hanging in there tough with him, too. Of course, this is in the early stages of the match. And, of course, the advantage is going to be with the team of the Nightmare and Speed as they will be able to tag in and out. Rick is going to have to stay in there the entire time.
There you go, baby. Take your time. Just take your time. You know, we're going to work on this for about 58 minutes, and we're going to take the belt. Come on, baby. That's all right. Take your time. Looking good.
He was forced into a decision of either to forfeit the belts or go in there by himself, and Rick had no intention of forfeiting something that had taken him that long to get.
See what he's telling you? Pull the ponytail. Come on, man. Let's go. You got him.
Rick Gibson facing the Nightmare.
Scared to death.
Boy, Jimmy, I could do without you talking in my ear all
Well, I
day
want you to
long.
take about a 5-month vacation around here and lighten it. It'd be a lot better.
Yeah, you may be taking a vacation longer than that, too. Rick puts a shoulder in, takes the Nightmare down. Beauty. Nailed him on a reversal. Beautiful. Look at that hip toss. Picks him up. Body slam on the Nightmare. Takes Speed and puts him down. Boy's not doing too well.
Come on.
Speed out of the ring. The Nightmare. Oh, Ricky missed the drop kick. Bad news. He had fired him in, but the Nightmare did have presence of mind enough in order to grab the rope, and Rick missed it. Speed hanging him as the referee trying to get Hart in his chair, which will be the first time in this match. And something up in the headgear.
Yes, yeah.
Nightmare laid the head to him, knocked him down.
In my entire life in professional wrestling.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. You guys could use a little rules ethics. It's Rick Gibson down on the floor. He had something in his mask, Jimmy. I'm not blind.
Come on, baby. That's it. Come on.
Rick Gibson climbing back up into the ring. And the Nightmare coming after him.
Come on, you got him, baby. Come on.
It's bad enough that it's 2-on-1, but they had to pull something like that. Rick,
Break his fingers. I want a finger. Come on. Yes.
where he was butted with something in the mask of the Nightmare. He's bleeding profusely.
Look at him. Look at him. Boy, he is so
Speed takes over.
American hero. Look at him.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Stay on him, baby. Stay on him.
Gibson whipped into the ropes, backdrop, and he's down in the center of the ring. Rick Gibson in real trouble, all brought about by the Nightmare and that headbutt, but which we think there distinctly was something in the mask.
Heavyweight champion. Come on, you got him. Come on.
Referee Jerry Calhoun telling him to get out of the hair. Rick takes the elbow down. They busted his eye open, but good. Speed and the Nightmare taking turns, banging away on Rick. It's Speed again, hammering away. As the referee saying open the fist up. Talking about fist a little bit earlier. Rick Gibson trying to fight his way back. Referee Jerry Calhoun knocked down, and that... Get away from there, Jimmy. Get out of here. called for it, and I'll tell you one thing, Dave. Gibson, I can only say that he did what he had to do. And there goes Rick, thrown right over the top rope. He's down on the floor, hit it hard. It's going to be a disqualification. They're pile driving, Nightmare and Speed put referee Calhoun down. Jimmy Hart, of course, taking advantage after somebody else hurt the referee, as he always does. I'll tell you what. Even though it's after the match, if I had anything to do with it, he'd get a fine and a suspension. Here comes promoter Eddie Marlin. Robert Gibson covered with blood. Rick Gibson. And here comes Dundee. Here comes Steve Kern, Roy Rogers, and there go the Nightmare and Speed out of here along with Hart. And real cheap shot on referee Jerry Calhoun.
No doubt about it.
Officially, Dave, let's recap now on what happened officially.
All right, officially, when Rick hit the referee, he was disqualified by referee Jerry Calhoun. So Rick is going to lose the match by disqualification, but the Gibsons are going to retain the Southern tag belts because the belts cannot change hands on the disqualification.
Yeah,
so the Gibsons keep them.
Jimmy Hart probably was right, as he officially said that Rick did it on purpose, and
good belt.
You still keep the belts, you betcha. Joy Boy himself.
Listen to the people, they love the first family all the way.
Look like Bozo the Clown with it. Tie on.
You know, this tie's like the Gibson sisters, man. You know, they make me sick. I am so sick. I'm sitting back here in the back, and I said, you better come out here and liven this thing up, man, because they're putting me to sleep back there. I had to take no dose. They sit out there crying each week going, well, my mommy was sick, and we had to call her on the phone to tell her that her little boy... You know what? That is a joke. If their mother's a deaf mute, how can they talk to her in the first place? Well, Mommy, come here, boys. Let's sing this Mommy a magic. Mommy, we love you. We love you, Mommy. Oh, that's a joke, man. That's a complete joke. Let me tell you something, Gibson. You're telling us one thing, and you know what it is? You're telling us that your mother means more to you than those belts. Does your mother mean more to you than those belts, man? What about you, baby? How about yours, man? That's right, the belts are number one, you idiot. But let me tell you something. The Gibsons, who cares? We're going to beat your brains out every time we see you, punks. But you know what I want to talk about? I want to thank you, Russell. You know what I want to thank you about? I want to thank you for showing that replay of me tearing Jerry Calhoun's head off. What's poor old Lawler going to do now that he's back without his special little referee, Jerry Calhoun, man? Boy, I gave him the left, the right, the left, the right. It's over, man. The first family of professional wrestling is the greatest thing to ever happen. I'm just glad that he finally came out of the closet, man, because everybody knows that Calhoun and Lawler are little. Oh, that's a little...
I noticed you were waiting around or something.
Mr. Russell,
come on, give us a break.
I want you to fix me a match again with this punk and this midget Bill Dundee. My boys humiliate me by losing the match with these punks and Bill Dundee.
We can't have another match now. Don't come out.
Please, you take me. You can fix the match up for me.
I understand. You got $300 for the match, but we can't have the match.
$300. Tojo, is that all the money you got, man? That's a joke. $300. You can't even get to Tupelo, Mississippi on $300 anymore, man.
Shut your mouth. You understand?
Oh, look at that. Come on, man. Cut it. What do you want to talk about? You humiliate these guys. Look at these. These are great Japanese wrestlers, man. Y'all guys need to be with the first family. I told you that when you first got here. Man, you're overweight, out of shape, and out of date, man. You're a fool for coming out here. I'm the number one manager. Why am I number 4 then if you're number 1? You're number 10 manager. I'm number 4 in the world. Number 4. I'm number 1. Oh, you ain't nothing, man. You're fat. Hey, come on.
Hey, Joe. All right, let's get out. Just get that stuff out of here.
Oh, hit my collarbone. I'll kill you, old man. You're going to have a heart attack. You'll have a heart attack and die.
Both of you.
Look, you want to put me on.
I know. Just take it on. Take it on out of here. Now, listen. Hey, come on, you guys. Now, just get on out of here. And Tojo, you can get...
You fix me up with the match.
Hey, listen, go back and talk to Eddie Marlin. He's the one you talk to about a match. Don't stand out here talking to me and come out here and busting people in the middle of the show. You want to get a match, you go. And we're standing here at least with one half of the challenge in. I've got the money over here. Tojo's $300. Referee Paul Morton is there, Roy Rogers, Bill Dundee, and we're waiting now on Anita and Fucci. Yamamoto coming out without. Tojo, it's time for the challenge match out here now.
Russell, look like somebody being kidnapped my boys. I telephoned my apartment. I telephoned the motel. I don't see their car. I don't see the car no place. I tell you what, conspiracy, conspiracy is going on.
Yeah, you mean they kidnapped your boys. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That's right.
Yeah. I don't care how it is. Last week you made the deal with Eddie Marlin. Your 300, which we have right here, goes in the challenge match where Onita and Fucci have to beat Dundee and Rogers. And if they don't show, you better think again. They don't show, you lose the money anyhow.
No. I wrestle. No.
Yeah. You remember a couple of weeks ago? Same thing. You said they weren't here, and all of a sudden they come jump in there on your match.
No. I wrestle. No, sir.
The match is scheduled with Onita and Fucci. They got to beat Dundee and Rogers, and if they don't do it, you lose the money.
No, sir. No, Mr. Russell. No way.
Here's the money, Paul.
I wrestle.
No, you're not going to wrestle. You pull that on us one time. You better get them out here right now if you're going to have any of this money left, or at least have a chance for it.
Well, I told you already.
No. Paul, okay. Yep. We'll ring the bell. That's what the deal was. It was made.
There's no fool like an old fool, you old man. Guess who has just signed Anita and Masafuji up, fat boy? Jimmy Hart. And they're in Las Vegas, you old heart attack victim. How do you like that, buzzard breath?
Okay, come on. Hey, come on. Come on now. Get out of here.
You see him right there along with referee Jerry Calhoun.
Make one thing and make it perfectly clear, Dream Machine. I told you you're not getting a match, and I'm not giving him one. I don't care. Dream Machine, you're at the bottom of the ladder, and that's where he's going to stay. He works his way up, which is going to be a long time.
All right, Dutch Mantell. Dutch headed up for the corner, and this match is one fall, 15-minute time limit. The Shadow weighs in at 203 pounds. Dutch Mantell from Oil Trough, Texas at 224. One fall, 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Dutch Mantell making reference to the fact that Dream's sticking his head in there and hollering about him being chicken. Why didn't he give him a Southern Tag Championship return match?
Jimmy Hart up on the apron. Look out, Dream Machine. Dream Machine nails Dutch Mantell. Got some spraying on him. Hart holding him. Shadow holding him. Yellow paint.
Yeah, he comes in and hits him in the back of the head. It's incidental that Dutch wins it by disqualification. But he's spraying him with a can of yellow paint right down his back.
Here is Jimmy Hart with the former holder of the AWA Southern Heavyweight Belt, the Dream Machine.
Don't you start talking, because I'm going to tell you something, Dutch Mantell. I want all of you people out there to be proud of your champion, Dutch Mantell. But the way you got that belt, boy, you didn't have enough guts. You know, when I went down there, I was burning up with fever, 102 fever, and he tried to get me. Jimmy Hart, my manager, tried to get me. He says, Dream Machine, don't you go down there to face him because you're not able out there. But I'm going because the man that I am, with the power that I have in my body, and I went down there to get in that ring to face him eyeball to eyeball. And what did you do, Dutch Mantell? You did not have enough brass on your face to come out where the rats are supposed to come out. You had to run around the building and come in the front door.
Now, why did you have to do that? Because I'll tell you why, boy. Because you're gutless and you're chicken, and you know there's no way, come rain, sleet, hell, or snow, that you can beat me, because I did it all, brother. There's nothing in the world that I want to do, no place I want to go, and no place that I'm going back to. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't care. But Dutch Mantell, you're going to pay, baby. I'm going to be in your coffee. I'm going to be in your eggs and bacon. I'm going to be in your pancakes. I might even be, I don't even want to say where I might be, but I'm going to be there, brother, and I'm going to tell you, Dutch Mantell, you look at this face, and every face tells a story of pain, misery, and the blues. Shucking, jiving, moving, and grooving. I did the barbed wire fence from hell and back, baby, and I've never feared any man that ever walked God's green earth, and I do not fear you. And Dutch Mantell, you are a chicken. I look up and I see a hammer, I see a whip, and I'm knocked out, and I get up, and my manager tells me, he says, Dream, it's over. I say, how in the hell can it be over? And the bell ain't even rung, Dutch Mantell. But I'm looking at you, boy, and I'm going to be looking at you for a long time, because it'll never be over. And I got news for you, Bigfoot. I'm not scared of you, Turkey. I'm not scared of you, and I've never been scared of you. And I guarantee you, Jimmy, that I want him if it's any guts in your body. If you get behind these people, if these people are behind you, if you are a true champion like I was, you'll come out here and take that belt and hand it to me right on the platter and say, Dream Machine, this is your belt, baby. This is yours, and I stole it like a thief in the night that I was. Hallelujah. I stole it. I want him out here, Jimmy. Tell me right now if he's got it. You saw it. You was down there hooping and hollering. I'll tell you why Lance Russell is not here, because he was drinking. He was down there hooping and hollering with the rest of them idiots. I'm fired up, baby. I'm wired tighter than a Gibson guitar on a Friday night. And Dutch Mantell, I want your meat, baby.
Dream, I got something to tell you, darling.
Hallelujah.
He won't come out and give you a title shot, because Dutch Mantell called me this morning, and you know what he told me? He said, Jimmy Hart, I want back in the first family. He said, Jimmy Hart, I want to be back with the first family. And I said, well, Dutch, there's only one way to get back, brother, and that's to give my Dream Machine a title shot, and he's awfully mad at you. And he said, well, Jimmy, I'll do anything to get in the first family, but I ain't going to give the Dream Machine a title shot. And I said, well, Dutch, there's one other thing that you can do to get back in the first family, baby, and that's to wear the mark of a chicken. The mark of a chicken, Dutch Mantell. And he said, Jimmy, I will do anything. So, ladies and gentlemen, right now, I'm giving you the mark of a chicken, Dutch Mantell. Come here, Dutch Mantell. If you want to be back in the first family, come on out here then. Come on out.
Jimmy.
Look at him, baby. Look at him. There's the chicken. Look at him. Dirty Dutch Mantell back in the first family. Look at him. Come on, Dutch. Look at him. You wanted him. There he is, baby.
Not the mark of the devil, but the mark of the chicken. Now, Dutch Mantell, you take a look, boy. When you face your old lady, when you face them ugly kids you got, and you take a look at them every day, this is what you are, Dutch Mantell. This is what you are. This is what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to take you down, and I'm going to crush you, Dutch Mantell. And I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to pull your eye. I'm going to spit in your tail, Dutch Mantell. You what do you mean? What do you mean? No. Where are you at, boy? That's what I'm going to do. It's over. That's Dutch Mantell. That's your true champion. That's somebody you can be proud of.
Jimmy,
right there.
Let's get him out of here.
Well, you shut up, baby. You went down there hooping and hollering for them.
More wrestling's coming up. We'll be back with you.
This may turn out to be one of our more pleasant championship wrestling programs in a long time, Dave, because incident happened during the week where Jimmy Hart ended up receiving a pile driver, as you know. Jimmy laid up, and we just may be able to get by one day without having to listen to that mouth. Yeah. Fantastic, right? I thought maybe you folks might be interested in the highlights of it. Let's take a look at the action that involved Tojo Yamamoto, Jerry Lawler, with the Cuban Assassins and Jimmy Hart. Tags Tojo. 15 minutes. We're a quarter of the way through the time limit on the match. Yamamoto in with Ali Hassan, whips him in. Goes for that abdominal grab. Here comes Jimmy Hart. That'll be a disqualification. Yamamoto and Lawler will win. Lawler nails Hart hard. Picks Jimmy up. Slams him with a pile driver down into the mat. And Jimmy Hart rattled hard. Well, I'll tell you, I don't condone it. It is illegal. There is no question about that. You end up fed right up to here. Oh, no. He is, in fact, here. Well, I take no joy in the fact that that Hart is laid up in a wheelchair in here, but you got to say this. Sometimes it's brought on by your own actions in there. I would just have to say that.
You know what? It's a sad day in professional wrestling when a man of my credibility and character is humiliated by having to be in a wheelchair. You know, a lot of famous people, Russell, have been in wheelchairs. Governor George Wallace of Alabama, and he still carried on his business. Franklin D. Roosevelt, the President of the United States, was in a wheelchair, but he still carried on. But I wanted to prove a point to you people out here how sick, by them laughing at me coming in here, how sick you really are. Because let me tell you what, baby, that's how sick you are. And I wanted to prove my point to the world, man. You're sick and you need help. You need help. Everybody needs help out in this place. Let me tell you something, man. Lawler, where was the promotion? Where was Eddie Marlin when Lawler gave me a pile driver, which is illegal? You know where he was? He was in the back laying down because, like everybody else, he wants to see me out of professional wrestling.
You're bogus.
Well, let me tell you something. You're as bogus as that big nose of yours, too, brother. But let me tell you this right now, baby. Lawler, this is the Super Destroyer, baby, and I want you to meet him. 6'6". 360 pounds. You understand that? Well, maybe it's going to be hard to get through your thick brain of yours like these people over here. But let me tell you something, baby. Look at this man. Isn't he gorgeous?
Yeah, I see him. I've seen him before.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something, and I want you to listen. I want you to listen closely. The Super Destroyer, I say, how many times have I stood out here, Russell, and told you, Russell, I have found the greatest professional athlete in the world?
If I could count them up, about 9,570 times. Every time you bring somebody out here, you...
All right. How many times have I stood out here and told you that I have found the greatest athlete in the world?
Every time you come out here, they're always the greatest athlete in the world.
All right. How many times have I told you that I've found the man that I know that can defeat Jerry Lawler?
The same number of times. You say the same thing about it every time you come out here.
Well, brother, it stops here. The buck stops here because I have found the man that I know that can beat Jerry Lawler. This man I know can defeat you, Lawler. I know you're back there listening somewhere, but I've got a deal for you, brother. Super D, go to the ring, baby. Go to the ring right now.
Hey, wait a minute,
no, I want to prove my point. Now, listen. I want to prove my point to the people over here that Lawler is a jerk, that Lawler is a loser, and I'm going to expose him for the jerk that he really is. Lawler, I say that you don't have enough guts, baby, to crawl in the ring with this man live on TV right now.
Big deal. You know he's got an 8-man tag match coming up later on that he'll be involved, both of them.
Okay, an 8-man tag. Well, that's great. Well, I'm telling you right now, I'll say that you don't have enough guts. He's not coming out here, is he? Where are you, Jerry? I'm saying come out of here right now. Forget the 8-man tag. Come out of here right now and step in the ring with the Super Destroyer, the greatest professional athlete in the world.
What do you got?
Is he coming out?
19 of your first family waiting out in the hall to come in and jump in when he comes in.
No, baby. I give you my word. I give you my word, my oath right now, my bond that nobody will come in. And I'll make this deal for you, Lawler. He's not coming out. If you crawl in the ring with him right now, if this man cannot beat you today on TV, if he cannot defeat you in 15 minutes, well, then I'll give you my word. Nobody will interfere, and I'll crawl in the ring with you today live on TV, baby. And that's why I'm wearing my wrestling gear, brother. Right now, Lawler, I say you don't have enough guts to come out here and accept the offer.
You are making the stipulation that he has got to beat Lawler in there.
That's right, baby.
If he doesn't beat him in the time limit, if Lawler beats him, Lawler gets a shot at you right in that ring.
And I'll crawl in the ring today with no interference at all. I will get in the ring if Lawler defeats this man, and I'll fight Jerry Lawler today on TV.
And you're not
I say you're a gutless wonder. He is a gutless wonder. I've never chicken out of anything in my life. Oh, boy, here it comes.
Just beware, Jerry. Beware. You know, Any guy that would come out here in a wheelchair like that, watch out for him.
I just want one thing understood. This sounds fine to me, Hart. I want to understand one thing. If I beat him, or if I win the match, then I get a match with you, right?
Right here, baby.
Okay, all right. What that means is, Lance, I want you to understand this. If any of those little cronies of his in the First Family come in, he gets disqualified and I win the match, right? You understand it?
Right.
Anybody interferes, he's disqualified and I win, then I get the match with you.
I give you my word.
Oh, you know what your word means, don't you? That's fine. You just keep him out here at the desk, and as soon as I get through with him, slide him right up.
Get in the ring, big man. Get in the ring.
Okay.
Get him. Look at him.
Hart, I'm telling you, you've made the conversation. You better live up to what you said in there.
I've done everything I've ever said I'd do.
Oh, boy, you sure have. Yeah. Okay. Oh, great. I'm sorry about that. Let me run over it again. Now, Hart is the one that made the challenge. The Super Destroyer must beat Lawler. If Lawler goes through to the time, or he beats him, or if any of the First Family interfere, Lawler wins by disqualification. Hart goes into the ring with Lawler right there, Davey.
All right. Lawler and the Super Destroyer. Special added match here. Challenge match. Whoa, Super Destroyer. Shoved Lawler down to the mat. Lawler quickly back up on his feet. Jimmy Hart down in the corner, taunting Lawler. Lawler pushed back again by the big Super Destroyer.
I want to make sure Calhoun referees this right down the middle. You see he's got his own special referee in here, don't you?
The words of Jimmy Hart. Super Destroyer with Lawler back on the ropes. Oh, off those ropes, he nailed him with a right fist. No doubt. Destroyer, right fist again. Lawler answers him with a right fist. Super Destroyer not quite as big as Jimmy Hart described him, but he's big, all right. He's over 270. Right fist again in the corner, and Lawler comes back with a fist. Who's using it first, Jimmy? Hart blind to the fact that the Super Destroyer is using that fist first, but he's seeing it every time Lawler hits him with a fist. There he is again. He's answering him with a fist. Destroyer pounded Lawler down to the mat.
Look at him. He's down now, baby.
How about the fist he's using, Jimmy?
Come on. Come on. Come on, Destroyer. You got him, baby.
Again, right fist by the Destroyer.
Right there. The Super Destroyer.
Lawler back in the corner. Destroyer, right fist.
Calhoun can't save him now, baby.
Lawler was picked up and thrown across the ring by the Super Destroyer, and there's that right hand again. Flagrant use of the fist by Super Destroyer. The referee is warning him about it. There's a choke. He got Lawler right up in the air, and the hand wrapped around the throat, throws him down in the ring.
Yeah, I hear you.
We're 3 minutes into the action.
Over with. He hadn't beaten him yet.
3 minutes gone, and it's mostly been Super Destroyer so far. Oh, Lawler knocked back into the ropes, through the ropes, out onto the apron. Super Destroyer down on the floor now. Lawler run into the ring post. Super Destroyer around there. Jerry Calhoun trying to stop him. Wait till he gets back in the ring. Into the ring post again. Here's the referee trying to move Super Destroyer back. Jimmy Hart there, he's not any help at all. Lawler half in the ring, half out on the apron. Super Destroyer down on the floor.
Count him out.
Yeah. Now Lawler back out on the floor now. And the Destroyer, with all that pounding with a fist, has got a cut opened up.
Boy, I mean, right on that eye.
Into the ring post again.
Yeah, he's going to get disqualified, too.
Destroyer with a fist. Coming up on the 5-minute mark.
Boy, his right eye is closed with blood, Dave.
What you used to be, if you look at it.
All right.
Super Destroyer, relentless. He's attacking Lawler. He's got his eye cut open.
Calhoun checking the cut. Where he slammed him into that ring post and has been banging him. He's cut. I didn't get a good look, Dave, but it looks like his eyelid is cut.
Oh, Jerry hanging on the middle rope and the top rope. Super Destroyer finally knocks him out onto the apron all the way.
How about our time?
We are very close to 6 minutes. 5 minutes, 50 seconds right now.
He's still got a long way to go. Referee Jerry Calhoun checking that eye again. And Lawler slumped back into the ring turnbuckles. What? Calhoun is stopping the match.
Yeah, he checked the eye and he said, stop it.
To get him back in the ring. Referee Jerry Calhoun using his best judgment. I knew that the cut I thought was right on the eyelid, and his right eye is closed with blood streaming down in it out of that cut on the eyelid. And Jimmy Hart and the Super Destroyer go bopping out of here. And it's going to go down as an official win for the Super Destroyer over Jerry the King Lawler, Davey.
That's the way it'll be. The time on it was 6 minutes, 17 seconds, and at that point, referee Jerry Calhoun stopped it due to the cut on Lawler's eye.
In a situation where Hart had challenged Lawler to the Super Destroyer with the plum that if the Super Destroyer didn't beat him, that he would get a match right there in the ring with Jimmy Hart. Official verdict 6-something.
6-17.
6-17. The Super Destroyer got a win when the referee stopped it because of Jerry's eye that was cut right at the lid. And so the Super Destroyer gets the win. Super Destroyer has been involved in the relatively short time that he's been in here, Dave, as you well know, in a controversy. We had a situation recently right here on Championship Wrestling where he is using a hold that is a very close controversial thing to a pile driver. As a matter of fact, in one match he used this, and the referee's decision was that it was in fact a pile driver, and he disqualified him, stopped the match at that point. First, before we get into the information we have from the CWA on it, I want you to take a look at this videotape. There's a tag on the Super Destroyer So the first of the 3 super heavyweights coming in, Super Destroyer at 267, in there with Rick Morton. He holds onto the rope, and Ricky going up for a drop kick, his best chance to get him off the feet. Ricky hits it and hurts his back as he came down. And now look at the Super Destroyer. Grabs him by that hair, puts the head down, drops to his knees, and that is going to be a disqualification. Referee's judgment, he calls it a pile driver. Yeah, and that is exactly what the referee has the power to do, make his decision on it. It's like stopping the bout in there, and he determined it as a pile driver. A protest was lodged with the CWA by Jimmy Hart, and in a letter here, which we're not going to take time to read the entire thing, in effect what the CWA said was that from the videotape, and after listening to all of the protest about the hold and listening to Jimmy Hart, his side of the particular hold in there, they call it a super destroyer, super paralyzer, and the CWA has said at this time they are not ready to outlaw it and determine it as a pile driver, but they will continue to monitor the situation, listen to any further protest on it. But as the situation turns out, it means that the loss that he had because of the disqualification on that thing is thrown out, and so the Super Destroyer at the moment is skating on very, very thin ice on that super paralyzer hold that he used. Jerry Lawler coming out, and Jerry, if we can, yeah, come on over here and sit down. Did you get the eye cleaned up? Well, I know it was a major disappointment. I must say that I think the referee had to use his judgment on it and stop the bout, because the cut it's down on, yeah, it's on the lid.
Well, let me just say this, Lance. I've had a lot of cut heads before, and I've had cuts over my eye before. And I want you to know this will leave a scar that, they don't wash away and they don't go away with time. I want Jimmy Hart to realize that every time I look at this, I'll have the scar from now till the day I die, and every time I look at this scar, I'll think of you, Hart, and your Super Destroyer. Now, I know that, Lance, you and the fans have seen me come out here a lot of times and rant and rave and scream and yell and want to add a match when I'm mad as heck at somebody, but I'm not going to be doing any screaming or yelling. But I am mad, Lance, but I'm mad mostly at myself today, because I want to say that I feel like I let a lot of people down. And I know you can say the guy is, I don't know if he's 6'6", but he's big and he's strong and he's mean and he's tough. But oh, well, that's true. I'll vouch for that. But I'm supposed to be the king, Lance. I'm supposed to be the good that overcomes all the evil, no matter how big and how mean and how tough it is. I want to say this. I know I got a lot of fans out there. I realize that. And I want to, thank you. So I know exactly how they're feeling right now, and I just want to say that, I'm sure a lot of people say, well, he's on TV all the time. He's a celebrity or whatever. He's not a fan of anything, but I want the people to realize that I am just exactly like you are, and I have things that I like and things that I dislike, and I just want to tell a little story here in comparison. Something that happened to me earlier in the week, and can I have just a minute of time here?
Sure.
I just want to say, Lance, and I don't know if any of the people realize it, but people are fans of wrestling. I'm a big fan, just to tell a little story, I'm a big fan of the Cleveland Browns football team. You know that. Mm-hmm. And I go to a lot of their football games in Cleveland and everywhere, watch them on TV, and I just want to say, last Sunday I was watching the football game. They're playing the Denver Broncos, and it was a game that Cleveland really needed to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. The end of the game, it was tied, so they had to go into overtime, and I'm sitting there watching it, and Cleveland got the ball. They're driving down the field, and it looked like they're going in for a score, and boy, I was happy and I was excited, and I was standing up on every play, and Just when it looked like they're going to score the winning touchdown, one of the Cleveland players fumbled the ball. Denver got it, and a couple of plays later kicked the field goal, and Cleveland lost the game. And I know I went at that time from being happy to being miserable, just like that. And you know, I went out to eat later on the evening, and I went to a movie, but I really didn't enjoy it because my team had lost. And you know, I saw the players' faces on the sidelines, and they all had their heads down, and especially the guy that fumbled the ball. You know, I felt bad for him because I knew how bad he was feeling. And at that time, I wished that, like, you know, I was wishing that maybe the cameras could go back in the locker room and you could see the players saying, you know, maybe one with a smile on his face or one saying, hey, the season's not over for us. We'll get them next week. But, of course, you know, the game was over and it just went to another show. And I felt bad about it. And the next day, I was at the box office of the Mid-South Coliseum. A little early, I went down. And a little black lady came over to me. She saw me there. She came over and she said, King, don't let them hurt you tonight because I cry when you lose. And I mean, that hit me like a shot because I realized at that moment that there are people out there that care enough about me, Lance, that when I hurt, they hurt, and when I lose, they lose. And these are the people that put the food on my table, and these are the people that put the clothes on my back, and they're the people that take the time out of their schedule to watch me on TV or pay their hard-earned money to come to see me wrestle. And these are the people that I owe everything to, and these are the people, Lance, that I let down today by losing this match. But what I can say, wait just a second, where I have the opportunity that the football players didn't have, I can sit here right now, thanks to you, and I can tell my fans that the season's not over and that there will be another day. And what I want to do right now is I want to ask, I'm not screaming and I'm not ranting and raving, I want to ask Eddie Marlin that if this week, if he will add another match to the card with the same stipulations, me against the Destroyer, if I win, I get Jimmy Hart in the ring, then I want to tell, if he'll add that match, Lance, I just want to tell my fans that I won't let them down anymore, and they won't be disappointed in me again. That's all I got to say.
Well, okay, Jerry, I'll have to, of course, talk to Eddie about it, and we'll...
And introducing at 150 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, on the left of the screen there, Jimmy Hart. Going against him from Tupelo, Mississippi, 215 pounds, Dennis Upton. One fall, 15-minute time limit. Referee is Jerry Calhoun.
Well, I find this difficult to believe. Jimmy Hart has substituted himself for Sweet Brown Sugar.
That's what he said. Sweet Brown Sugar could take the day off and he was going to wrestle. I don't know. Let's see here.
Dennis Upton, big lanky wrestler, wrestles out of Mississippi, and Jimmy Hart giving him all of his fancy footwork, a little boxing. The referee is saying, come on, open your fist up. We haven't had any contact, I don't think, yet, Dave.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is Jimmy really going to wrestle, or is he just going to dance around the ring?
Reached out and slapped Dennis Upton. Acts like he just won the world title or something. Hart steps in with a open hand left, I will say that. And the referee saying, come on, open the hands up and keep them open. Oh, you're looking great. Well, the First Family head is really pumped up today. Dennis Upton coming in there. Jimmy being pumped up, now steps down, gets on the floor. Referee Jerry Calhoun's holding out a count on him, and Hart John with a crowd. Back up to the ring apron. Hart once again.
Wait a minute, the man is too tall. He's 7'8" right now. You get out on your knees and I guarantee you I'll beat him.
He's down on his knees.
He still looks tall. Oh, I'll kill him now. Oh,
the one and only finally, Jimmy Hart, who is now prepared, as Dennis Upton laid down in the middle of the ring and said, come on, come on. Hart going. Oh! Upton rolled out of the way and Hart missed. Here comes Upton chasing him. Hart back in. Well, I can tell you, hands down, forget catching Jimmy Hart. Hart catches him coming through the ring rope. Side headlock. Dennis Upton throws Hart off and right into referee Jerry Calhoun. Upton covers him. Here comes the Iranian assassin. Climbs up on the rope. Jumps off on Upton's back. Places Hart on top. You see it all happening. Referee Jerry Calhoun, who was knocked flat backward when Hart was shoved into him. Count of 3. Staggering around, can't even stand up to get his hand held up. The referee unable to hold his hand up as he was really hit. Wind knocked out of him. And Jimmy Hart, I won. Well, Jimmy Hart comes out with an official victory. Of course, we sat right here and watched it. The referee didn't see any of that, but the Iranian assassin whipped in, got Upton in the back, rolled Hart over and put him on top of him. And the referee counted 1, 2, 3 at that point, and that was the official victory.
That's right. 2 minutes, 56 seconds the time on it.
Wow. Surprised with Sweet Brown Sugar not being in here. Hart gave him the day off, and Jimmy Hart over Dennis Upton. Hart nails Stan with a chair, and they're all 3 jumping on him. Stan Lane, one of the premier single wrestlers of the First Family, being abused and beaten by the Cuban and the Iranian assassin. Here comes promoter Eddie Marlin, Robert Gibson, and Rick Gibson. They go. I am stunned as to what in the world is happening. Stan, can I talk to you just a second?
Let me tell you something, Lance.
Yeah, what in the world is this? You came out and jumped Jimmy Hart.
I'm not the kind of guy. Let me just tell you this. I'm not the kind of guy that goes to people's things. I mind my own business. But what I've been suspecting for a long time, I had a chance to find out last night. I did go in Jimmy Hart's bag. This is a ledger, Lance. You know what that is?
Yeah.
An accounting ledger. What it boils down to, Jimmy Hart has been stealing money, not only from me, but from the whole First Family. Now, I stood out here for months. I don't mind the guy standing here and talking. He wouldn't let me talk. That's fine. I don't mind the guy telling me to stay in before championship matches. That's okay, too. But nobody takes my money. Nobody. Let me say one thing. Let me explain something to you.
Well, okay. Go ahead.
I signed a contract when I came here. Jimmy Hart gets a 10% booking fee, 10% for his managerial duties. That's it. It's all here in black and white, brother.
Pretty strong accusations.
Let me show you. No, it's right here in black and white, Lance. This makes me, look at this. 10%, all right? This is this month, January.
Okay, Stan
That's
Lane.
my name. Look at here. Look at the figures. 30%, huh? 20%, 15%. The guy's been ripping me off. The whole family. Let me tell you something. I might be the only guy in the family that graduated from college. Fine. It doesn't take a 5-minute cap in the county to understand what's going on here. The guy's been stealing from me, the whole First Family. I'm going to get my money back, brother. Nobody takes my money. Nobody.
Here's one figure that looks like 40% right here on Stan Lane.
Wait a minute, man. Look at the book, sweetheart.
Stan Lane. Now, I want you to understand that it was Stan Lane making those accusations. I did see the figures. I didn't really get too good a look. There's Brown Sugar and Dream Machine. And this is Hart's personal book, his ledger.
Wait just a minute, man. Wait a minute. 30%.
30%.
You're supposed to give him 10.
20%.
Dream Machine and Sweet Brown Sugar taking a look. There's Sweet Brown Sugar's page right there in the ledger. And the indication is percentage-wise, this column is percent. Now, again, we are taking the information as given by Stan Lane. The percentage column right here indicates 30%. Brown Sugar, 20%. And some very serious charges made on Jimmy Hart.
Explaining to do, man. What's going on?
Jimmy, let me ask you first. Is this your ledger here? Stan Lane says this is your ledger, and I want to give you the opportunity to say whether it is or not.
Sweet Brown Sugar, 30%.
I know it looks bad, but let me tell you something. Let me just tell you all the truth. I'm going to tell you the honest to goodness truth. First of all, I've never been so humiliated in my life. Look.
Well, hey, man, hey.
You people are cruel.
Get down to the point.
I'm going to try to get down. If you just listen to me for a minute, give me a chance, man. Who broke into the business? Jimmy Hart. Who changed your name to Sweet Brown Sugar? Jimmy Hart. You were driving up down here on a Greyhound bus over here before I found you. You were driving Lawler's car. Well, I'll tell you exactly.
First, Jimmy, let me ask you, is that your ledger or not?
That is definitely my ledger.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
Jimmy, you want me to explain? Let me give you a chance to explain if y'all would give it to me. And I just want to tell you right now, I know it looks bad, boys, but this is it. How many times when y'all came to me for a contract, y'all told me that you wasn't able to manage your money, didn't you? Tell me, didn't you? You did, didn't you, Dream? Didn't you, Sugar? Okay, well, that's what I've been doing for you. You trusted me, and I gave you a chance of a lifetime. See, these people are so cruel like this. See, that's... But, all right, I'll be truthful with you. You want to know? Okay.
I'm interested.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to get to the point. I've been putting your money back in a savings account for you. And I was going to give you the money for Christmas. But I've been so busy trying to negotiate other contracts for you and commercials and stuff that I wasn't able to do it. So this week, I'm going to give it to you, and I've got $5,000 for you, Save Sugar, and I've saved over $7,000 for you, Dream Machine.
$5,000 for me?
$5,000 for you I've saved for you, and I've got over $7,000 for you, and that's what I've been doing with your money. Now, you see, you come out here, I'm going to show you right here in this book exactly where I've got it, right back in the back. It says right now, it's in my other book I've got. I put it in my other book that I've got, but I'll bring it to you. But let me tell you something. You've got $7,000 saved. And I've got $5,000 for you. And I had some money for Stan Lane, too. But let me tell you, Stan Lane, you come out here accusing me in my hometown, a Christian athlete, Jimmy Hart, an American citizen, Jimmy Hart, a credit to my community, and you come out here telling me that.
That's right, man.
Let me tell you something.
Wait a minute.
Well, I tell you what, gentlemen, I would take a look at that other ledger.
Oh,
take a look
listen
at
to you, Russell. Let me tell you something, Stan Lane. I had $5,000 from you, too, but you'll never get it. I'll tell you what I'll do. You want to make some money, and I'll tell you how. I'll put a bounty on Stan Lane's head for anybody can break his arm or leg or anything accusing me of this.
That's right, Lane. Nobody,
talk to me that way. Are you going to stand by me, Sugar?
You mean I got $5,000?
You've got $5,000, man. Okay?
Nobody, baby. Nobody accuses Jimmy Hart of crime. Nobody shames you, man. Nobody shames you.
Okay.
You play because I am the family. I'm the greatest thing to ever happen in wrestling.
I'll work for you as long as you be honest to me. And
I've always been honest to you, Sugar. I've always been honest to you.
Okay, you guys take a look at the book. Don't forget it's in black and white right down there. We're going to take time out. We'll be back in just a moment.
I know a lot of you people out there are probably wondering, why didn't the Monk have a chance to wrestle some of the big superstars in professional wrestling like Terry the King Lawler, Dutch Mantell, Dundee, or Kern? Why is he always on the opening matches wrestling with people like David Price, Rick McCord, or whoever, or whatnot? Well, it's very, very simple, and I'll tell you right now. That's because Eddie Marlin won't give him a chance. You know why? Because the Kerns and the Lawlers and the Mantells, they all run into Eddie Marlin and said, Eddie, whatever you do, please don't get a match with the Monk. I don't want to face the Monk because he'll hurt us. He'll put us out of professional wrestling. But you know what? I thought, Jimmy, You are the king of professional wrestling, not Jerry Lawler, who calls himself the king. You are a superstar in professional wrestling. So I said, you know, it's about time that I used a little bit of my pull in professional wrestling to get something done that I want to see happen for a change. So I went to Eddie Martin and I said, Eddie, I want the Monk to face Jerry Lawler. Man, I don't care who's got the belt. I want him to have a championship match, man. It doesn't matter to me. I want the belt, brother, because that's the most important thing to my life is the Southern Heavyweight strap. And he said, and I said, Eddie, I'm going to give you a proposal, brother, and it goes like this. Jimmy Hart and the First Family, if you don't give me a title shot with my Monk for the Southern Heavyweight Championship belt, then we're leaving, brother. And Eddie got weak in the knees, and he started shaking. The sweat busted out all over his face. And his little toupee started flying up, and his old pacemaker went, woo! And he said, leave professional wrestling. And I said, that's right, baby. You heard the mouth of the South, and I'm telling you like it is. I want a championship match. And so, brother, we've got a championship match with Jerry the King Lawler. And I said, Monk, the king, baby, you know what the king's going to do? When you get in the ring with the king, baby, he's going to lay that fist upside your head, brother. He's going to lay that fist upside your head. He's going to hit you with everything he's got. You understand? And you've got to be ready for it. And he's going to lay his foot inside of that stomach, baby. And you've got to be ready for it, Monk. You've got to be ready. You understand me? And one more thing, Monk. One more thing, baby. When he's giving you the best he can give you, when he's giving you all that he can take from you, baby, I want you to take his head, Mother. I want you to take the king's head, baby. I want you to put it in your arms, darling, and I want you to squeeze it. I want you to give it everything you got, Monk. I want you to squeeze the king's head, brother. You know what I'm saying, Monk? Do you know what I'm saying, baby? Do you know what I'm saying to you? Because the belt is the most important thing. The belt is the most important. Come on, Monk. Come on, baby. Come on. Look at it, baby. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Lord, this is it, baby. It's over. My dream, baby. My dream. It's over. It's over. Look at it. Look. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Lord, it's over. I hope you'll be ready, King, because we'll be ready.
We're going to present for you is one that I want you to take a look at and take a listen to. Not a pleasant one, but we're going to roll it right now and let you see. Rick, I appreciate you coming here, and I didn't bring you here because I want to make a spectacle out of the face or anything, but I tell you the honest truth. I think this proves a point that when winning and the money and all of that becomes so important, that something like this can result, and you'll know what it is in just a moment, then it's time that, by golly, something is done about it. Rick, I guess if anybody that I know was in for the Tough Luck of the Year award, it's got to be Rick Gibson, because you know that I've always loved the style of you and Robert in there, and have really thought you were sitting right on top of it, ready for that Southern Tag title belts and bigger things than that. Then all of a sudden, bang, they kind of ganged up on you, and then the whole chest thing and the bruise right over the heart came. You got over that, and it was right after that they came right back, zing, through the stuff in your eyes. A heart, as a matter of fact, said it was Coca-Cola, but you know a whole lot better than that, and so do I. And now I would like for you just to take your time and tell exactly how this happened.
Well, this happened last Saturday night. My brother and I was going over to Jonesboro, Arkansas to wrestle, and on the way back, I dropped Robert off at his car, and I was on my way home, and somebody got behind me and was blinking their lights and so forth, and finally I found a parking place where to pull over at, and I pulled over, and I could look in my rearview mirror, and there was just one person.
You were just in the car by yourself at this point. You dropped everybody off.
Yeah, I had dropped everybody off up there. I could see there was one person in the car, and I thought maybe it might have been Robert. You know, it was raining that night. And so I pulled over, and I walked back to the car, and it wasn't Robert's car. And as soon as I got to the car doors, there was 3 people that jumped out of the car. And to tell you who it was,
Well, I want to know. That's the reason. Go ahead. Name them.
It was Jimmy Hart, Coco Ware, and Bobby Eaton.
And, of course, this is the result of exactly what took place right there in that incident.
This is the result. They did.
I don't know whether you've thought about it, but I can tell you right now, and this is one of the things we're talking about, that kind of thing right out there in a road and jumping a man like that is grounds for a lawsuit, friend, and you can do some thinking about that.
Well, let me say right now, I'm not, I don't want to make no lawsuit about it. You know, my profession has been for 12 years is wrestling. Wrestling is my profession, and lawsuits are nothing to me. I don't care about no lawsuit at this point. What I want to do, I'm going to let my face get well, let my sternum get well, and then let me take it up in the ring. And I want to say one thing, Jimmy Hart, if you're watching this interview right now, I want to promise you, and I want to promise your boys, when I get well, one of your boys, and I hope maybe it's even you, is going to look just like this here, because this is not a pretty sight.
Okay, Rick, thanks very much. We didn't want to drag it out. We thought it was important that it be known, and that was the story, what happened to Rick Gibson.
Okay, we want to do it now. No lapse of time. I want to get him out here right now. He's been out here so many times. I want to see if Jimmy Hart will come out here right now, and I want to hear some comments about a situation that was just described by Rick Gibson there. And, well, I don't know whether he's coming out or not. I guess not. If he's not out there, fine. We were going to give him the opportunity to make some kind of a response to... okay, without any further comments, editorializing or anything, is that the only thing you can do is laugh about it?
Well, first of all, I got an alibi where I was, baby, but I'm not going to tell anybody where it was. Are you crazy? I am so tired. When my jaw was broke and my leg was broke, I wasn't out here whining and crying and complaining. You know what? You were yellow, man. That's your whole case. You've got a case of yellow-itis. That's exactly what you've got. And that's a case of what your brother's got. Why in the world would his brother leave him, man? You know what the deal is, baby? I will tell you something, brother. You want to fight Jimmy Hart? You want to get me? Well, you come in here right now, you big gutless coward. Why don't you get that little Robert Gibson out here? Robert, you want to defend your brother? Come in here and get us, brother. Come on in.
Yeah, you're dressed out. Oh, I love this. So Jimmy Hart and JR, I don't know whether the promotion or Robert is interested. I'm sure interested on it. Well, you've extended it. I would love to see him come out here. Yeah, we'll find out what kind of athlete you are if Robert is interested in coming out and the promotion okays the thing. Jimmy Hart and JR in the ring. Oh, big deal. Yeah. Yeah, here he is. Oh, yeah. Robert Gibson. You want him. You got on. Hart. No way. You're not going to get away with this, you yellow son of a gun. You didn't have the guts to get in there and do what you said. Eaton and Sugar come out here. They busted the board. We need some help for Robert in it. This Hart, always some kind of tricks and things like that. Now it's 4 of them beating up on 1. Robert Gibson, who answered a challenge from Jimmy Hart. Steve Kearns, Stan Lane. Kern, Lane, Eaton, Sugar, JR, and Jimmy Hart with Robert Gibson still being pounded on as the 2 Harts, while Stan Lane just drug Eaton. Bill Dundee! Billy! Out of the dressing room in his street clothes. Putting a pile driver on JR. Dundee again. He didn't get Jimmy Hart because he outran everybody. Here comes Bill. And there goes Hart. Running out of the ring. Dundee back up. Nails Sugar. Boy, oh boy. And let me tell you, that ended that. Throws a chair and knocks Brown Sugar down on the floor. And the first family in flight when Billy Dundee came out. Our
first championship wrestling action for Billy in about 5 weeks since they messed up his shoulder. JR still stretched out in the ring. They're now gathered about Robert Gibson to help him out. Stan Lane, Steve Keirn helping Robert back. Okay, yeah, he needs some attention back there. Well, I tell you what, we're going to let the wait for Brown Sugar and Eaton to jump Robert Gibson. Hart's the one that challenged Gibson. He comes out there and you bust him open and...
Tell you what, you better get that dang handicap here, boy, because you and him gonna fight me, baby. I'm gonna make you think like that.
Oh, boy, you might know it. You can just figure that for Eaton and Sugar. Here comes Bill Dundee, Stan Lane, and Steve Keirn again. Hart, you got it. He's the first one out the door. Steve Keirn chasing Brown Sugar out. Dundee with a chair in hand as Bobby Eaton is trapped. He rushes by. Swinging that chair. Woo. Man, I will tell you, I don't approve of it, but I'm so glad it happened.
Let me tell you something, Hart. I just talked to Stan Lane. And Eddie Marlin promised me, he said, Bill, when your arm's back to normal, you got the match. Well, Stan Lane agreed to step down and let me get my old partner back this week. So Jimmy Hart, Bobby Eaton, and Coco Ware, what you're wrestling this week is Steve Keirn and Bill Dundee. Now, I made a promise to me, and I made a promise to all the people out there. When I got my hands on one of them, they were going to be hurt, and I hope that garbage is dead laying in the ring. And I'm going to promise y'all something. When I get you in the ring, Hart, and you take note, I know it's been said a million times before. 5 weeks I starved because of you, Hart, and I'm going to have a lousy Easter because of you. Well, I'm going to tell you something, son. This week, Hart, I'm going to get one of you, and you're going to look like that trash right there. Thank you.
Okay, Bill Dundee. Yeah, we need a little sweep-up detail in here to see if they can get JR out of there. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I think we've had enough excitement for the moment, Dave. We're going to take time out, and we're going to be back to take a look. Hey, come on, Bobby. Don't. Dell really did a number on Jim Jamison. As Hart's first family comes out victorious, you might take the robe if you'd care to also. Sue in a situation where 357 finds the victory going to team of Landell and Dennis Condrey coming out here. Stagger Lee. You're looking well, man. Feeling great, Stagger.
Oh, wait, man, you're looking fantastic.
Man, you're looking good, too. And I know you're going to be coming up this week looking for that Mid-America title. And I think we talked a little while ago, as you may have heard, to Hart and Landell and all of them. They forget the fact you had that Mid-America title and had it for a pretty good while, too.
You know, I did have it. I had it for 6 months, and I didn't think I would keep it that long, but I held it for a long, long time. You know, I'm sure that everybody heard Jimmy Hart out here a while ago, Buddy Landell. You know, Buddy, you beat me last week. I agree. You know, due to the fact Jimmy Hart throwed him a change and everything, he beat me.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I heard Buddy Landell said he wanted to take my mask off.
Yeah, Hart said he's the man that's going to do it.
And he wanted to keep the belt, too. And,
right.
And
right.
I'm, you know, being a champion, Lance, you have got to concentrate on one thing, and that's keeping that belt. And Buddy Landell, I'm really worried about him because it's going to be pretty hard for him to concentrate on my mask and concentrate on that belt.
Well, you don't think he can handle both those things at one time, huh?
But you know what? I'm going to light the burden, you know, being the nice guy that I am. I'm going to light the burden a little bit. I'm going to do Buddy Landell a big favor. I'm going to take the old Stagger off for a while.
Man, I don't know what to say. Do you know what you just did?
You know, I know what I just did. Only thing Buddy Landell's going to have to worry about is that keeping that Mid-America belt, because I'm coming after it. That's all it is to it, man.
I believe he's made up his mind. Koko Ware pulled it off. Good luck to you out there, partner. Kind of a stunner after all of the hollering about pulling the mask off, and boy, he did it right here.
Okay, all right, baby. Now, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
Hey, I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah, but tell you what, that's Koko Ware. You can tell by the split in his big teeth, and you can tell by the split in his head that I put in there. Come here, that's Koko Ware. Now, what are you going to do about it, baby? I'll prove my point. Eddie Marlin, I want Eddie Marlin. Hold it. Go back to it. Go get Eddie Marlin, Cornette. Get Eddie Marlin. Eddie Marlin, come out here.
Go wake Eddie Marlin up. He's back there sleeping.
You don't have to worry about pulling any mask off, at least. He's taking care of that.
I just proved my point I've been trying to prove out here for 6 months, baby. Come here. Come here, Eddie. Come on, Eddie. Come here. All right. Okay.
Eddie Marlin.
Now, were you asleep in the back as usual, or did you see the monitor?
I see.
You saw the monitor. Okay. Now, first of all, I want y'all to hold me a copy of this tape up there, because a lot of things are going on around here I don't like. Now, that was Koko Ware. Am I right or am I wrong? That was right. All right. Say it a little bit louder.
Yeah, it was.
All right. He said it was right. Okay. Now, what are you going to do about it? You remember the stipulation? The stipulation was, when we started fighting this jerk, was if we beat him, he'd have to leave the city. Period, comma, question mark. And then he came back under a mask, and you know it, I know it, the people know it, and you stood out here and you said, well, Jimmy, if you can take the mask off with it and prove who he is, then he'll leave town, right? Well, the mask just came off, so now you stand by your word, baby. He leaves the city.
Evidently, Jimmy, you don't keep up with time, because Koko Ware's time was up 30 days ago. He's been wearing that mask for the last 30 days just because he wanted to. He is legally able to...
Hey, Jimmy, did you understand
You
that?
are crazy, man. You are out of your mind. Let me tell you something, baby. You know what? This is the last time you're messing around over the family. I am sick and tired of you. You know, all of you play favorites to everybody, Eddie Marlin. You have special referees. They have any type match they want. You want to do anything you want to do. Buddy,
Hey, come on now. All right.
No, I'm tired of being ripped off. The family is tired of this. He'll put his hand on anybody he wants to put his hand on. You ain't going to do nothing about it right now. Get him. Get him. Get him right now.
Come on, Jimmy. That's the kind of guy right there that needs some kind of action taken against him, coming out here and pulling that stuff with you, Eddie.
Let me tell you something. He can legally wrestle as Koko Ware, and I can legally take action against Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart,
That's
you listen
right.
to this. I could find you. I could suspend you right here. But you got a title match with Koko Ware. You're talking about your burden's heavy with all those weights. I'm going to referee that match. I'll referee it when he has it. And I'll see if I can't lighten Jimmy Hart's burden. Come on.
Special referee, Jimmy. Go think that one over for a little while. Hart and Landell and Jimmy Cornette